Dodger Baseball is brought to you by the Union Oil Company, where you find the spirit of 76. Drive in and let the spirit move you. By Farmer John Meat Products. Look for Farmer John in your favorite supermarket. By Datsun. See your nearby Arizona Datsun dealer and see how Datsun saves. And by KTAR Action News and Sports, 24 hours a day. That says it all.
This broadcast is produced by the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated, who also employ the announcers. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited. Well, hi, everyone. This is Jerry Doggett along with Vin Scully, and here we are at beautiful Dodger Stadium for the game between the Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. Final meeting of the year between the two ball clubs, and for the Dodgers, they might be saying amen because they've had enough of the Reds, who've beaten them 11 out of 15. But all of the ball games have been close ones and good ones, and today should be no exception. A Dodger nemesis, Pat Zachary, goes on the mound for the Reds against Doug Rao, who has won 15, lost 11. Doug is 0-2 with the Reds this year and 2-2 lifetime. Zachary has beaten the Dodgers 5 times this year, and he has won 14 games in all against the league. So the Dodgers would really like to hang one on Zachary here as a reminder of things that might happen next year. The Reds won the ball game yesterday by a score of 4-3. The Dodgers won the opening game of the series, so the Dodgers today trying to take the finale of the set and then get ready for the Houston Astros, who will be here tomorrow. We'll have the starting lineups and other pregame notes for you after this message.
Conservationists tell us that weather stripping doors and windows will probably save both heating and cooling costs as well as conserving energy. And your Sentry man at Sentry Hardware Store can tell you just how to go about it. He can recommend the best materials for your kind of home and the best tools to use to get the job done more easily. And there are most likely other kinds of home repair or do-it-yourself jobs you'd like to try. So ask your Sentry man about any of them. You see, at Sentry Hardware, they're pros when it comes to knowing the right tools for the job and how to use them. So whether you'd like to weather strip your home, build the kids a playhouse, or start a garden, your Sentry man can help. And because he owns and operates his own business, your Sentry man is personally concerned with your complete satisfaction with products as well as service. Look in the yellow pages under hardware, then shop at the store with the Minuteman Sentry on the door. Your independently owned Sentry Hardware Store.
Here are the batting orders for the game now. For Cincinnati, Pete Rose will lead off and play third base. Ken Griffey in right field. Joe Morgan at second base. George Foster will be in center field. Tony Perez at first base. Bob Bailey in left field. Dave Concepcion at shortstop. Don Warner will be the catcher. And pitching, Pat Zachary. For the Dodgers, Davey Lopes at second base. Bill Buckner in left field. Reggie Smith in right. Steve Garvey will be at first base. Ron Say at third. Bill Russell at shortstop. John Hale in center field. Kevin Paisley doing the catching. And Doug Rao will be on the mound to do the pitching. Fans have been entertained in pregame show by the Silvers, a vocal group, heading now towards center field for the presentation of the national anthem. Nice day for the ball game. The Dodgers and the Reds for the last time this year, and a good crowd on hand. Tomorrow night, the Houston Astros move in, opening a 4-game series. Don Sutton, 20-game winner, will try to make it 21 against Dan Larson, going for the Astros. And on the second day, it'll be Hooten and Richard. Third game will be John and Andujar. Now, we'll have the national anthem sung for us by the Silvers, popular singing group.
What
won by the Silvers. Waiting now for the Dodgers to take the field. We'll take a look at the scoreboard. Repeating the notes a few moments ago, Philadelphia clinched the National League East as they beat the Montreal Expos 4-1. A 4-hitter for Jim Lonborg. Dan Watson, the loser. Greg Luzinski, a home run, his 21st of the year in the 6th inning with 2 men on. That's the first game of a doubleheader. So the Phillies will probably have to delay their celebration until after the second game, and then they will be able to throw the party. Chicago, New York, raining in New York, and we're not sure whether that's going to be postponed or not. Bonham and Kuzman are the announced pitchers. Atlanta is leading San Diego 4-3 at the end of 6 innings of play, with Negro trying to get his 17th against Sawyer. And St. Louis leads Pittsburgh 5-1 at the end of 6 innings of play, with Denny against Keeson. Cruz a home run for the Cardinals. Houston will play San Francisco a little later on, with Lemongello going against Halicki. In the American League, Angels lead Minnesota 4-0 at the end of 5.5 innings of play. Boston over Baltimore 8-0 in the last half of the 8th inning. Rain in the East. Milwaukee, Cleveland, New York, Detroit, Oakland, Chicago, all rained out. So Oakland, Chicago rain out, and they will make that game up if necessary. Meanwhile, Kansas City with the magic number 3 is losing to Texas 2-0 at the end of 3 innings of play. Bryles, who was with Kansas City for a while, going against Bird. The rain hit Cleveland, Detroit, and Chicago. On the mound now, Doug Rao warming up with catcher Kevin Paisley. Standing by, Pete Rose, sun ready to break through the overcast. It should be a beautiful day for the ball game here at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers beginning their final week of the season. Have 7 left, including this one. 3 with Houston tomorrow, beginning tomorrow, and 3 over the weekend against San Diego on Friday night, Saturday and Sunday day games. Saturday will be Manny Mota Day, and Sunday Fan Appreciation Day. And a reminder also, Wednesday night will be our final team night of the year as the Dodgers conclude the series against the Houston Astros. Okay, we're all set. Time to play ball. The Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Sunday to you, wherever you may be. Over here and around Dodger Stadium, the sun trying to burn off the overcast. And we have one sizable patch of blue overhead as we get the ball game going. Pete Rose, Ken Griffey, and Joe Morgan in that order. And Doug Rao in pursuit of number 16. The Dodgers after today will have 3 coming up with Houston, followed by next weekend with San Diego. Rao on the rubber, into the windup. First pitch of the day is lifted to right center field. Reggie Smith over, calling and waiting, and makes the catch. 1 away. That'll bring up Ken Griffey. Didn't give us a chance to tell you that Rose was hitting .327, although he has about a 60-point difference left-handed and right-handed. He does most of his hitting against right-handed pitching. Here's Ken Griffey. Griffey hitting .336. Doug Rao ready, delivers, fastball for a strike, 0-1. Kevin Paisley behind the plate. The infield firm is intact. That means Garvey and Lopes, Russell and Say. The outfield, however, changes from day to day. Here's the strike 1 pitch. A bunt up along third base. Say falls down, and the ball's going to stay fair for a bunt single. Ronnie started to charge the ball. Then he thought he would jam on the brakes and field it. And when he jammed on the brakes, his feet went out from under him, and down he went. So the only other chance he had was for the ball to peel off foul, and it wouldn't do it. So it's a bunt single for Ken Griffey. He had a bunt single his first time up yesterday. So Griffey aboard, and here is Joe Morgan. Little Joe hitting .326. 27 home runs, 111 runs batted in. And the Reds are fortunate, as is Joe Morgan, that he recovered from an injury that ruined Mike Marshall's year and also really slowed down Davy Lopes. Morgan hits a curveball on the ground to Lopes. He feeds Russell. Back to Garvey. Double play. The Little Joe bangs into the double play, and the Reds are gone on a base hit. And at the end of half an inning, Reds nothing. Dodgers coming up.
Union Oil and your neighborhood Union 76 dealer who sells the unleaded regular that can save you money. Union 76 regular presents another episode of Murph. Join us now at Murph's friendly 76 station as Murph is about to help a good customer pinch pennies.
Murph, Elmer and I decided to save money and keep our 71 Ford another year.
Sounds like a good idea. I'll fill it up with unleaded Union 76 regular. It can help you save even more money.
Oh, how's that?
Because it's unleaded, it can help your spark plugs last up to twice as long. That can mean fewer tune-ups.
Oh, Elmer will be so pleased.
And it can help your muffler and tailpipe last up to 50% longer.
Oh, I can't wait to tell him.
So you see, Union 76 regular can be worth up to 2 cents a gallon in decreased maintenance costs.
Murph, fill it up with Union 76 regular.
That's the spirit.
Maybe it's time you put a gasoline with spirit on your side. The spirit of 76.
43. Center fielder.
Bottom of the first inning, the Reds fail to score. The Dodgers coming up will set Cincinnati defensively. An infield of Tony Perez and Joe Morgan, Davey Concepcion and Pete Rose. An outfield of Bob Bailey in left, George Foster in center, and Ken Griffey in right. Behind the plate, Don Werner. And on the mound, Pat Zachary, who has beaten the Dodgers 5 times this year, trying to nail him for number 6. The Dodgers will send up Davey Lopes, Bill Buckner, and Reggie Smith. By the way, especially for those folks in the ballpark, you are listening to the public address announcer, and it is not John Ramsey. John is over at the Coliseum, where the Rams are knocking heads with the New York Giants. And over at the far end of the press box is Police Officer Dennis Packer. Dennis has been doing the Los Angeles Valley College public address announcement, and of course, he has his work during the week in the Community Relations Office of the LAPD's North Hollywood station. So Dennis Packer at the public address microphone, and we're delighted to have him with us. Davey Lopes to start it off, then Bill Buckner and Reggie Smith, and Pat Zachary into the windup delivers, and he's low, ball 1. Zachary, a 14-game winner, picked up only 5 losses along the way. The 1-0 pitch, Lopes fouls it away. Zachary with a marvelous earned run average of 2.7. He's completed 5 of 26. And, of course, the big story, he has beaten the Dodgers 5 for 5. The 1-2 fastball is inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Zachary wearing the Dodgers out because when he pitches, he invariably goes deep into the game. He's had 2 complete games, 1 game for 8, and a couple 7 2/3. There's a number down to Morgan, and that'll do it for Lopes. 1 away. That'll bring up Bill Buckner, who has a 10-game hitting streak.
Number 22.
And for Buck, time is running out. He needs a big day with the bat. Buckner needs 11 hits for 200. And he has 7 games left, including today. So he has to come up with 3 just about right away. So Buckner waiting at the plate, hitting .305, 189 hits. Zachary is high and outside. Ball 1. Pat Zachary, boy, what a story. Out of Richmond, Texas, makes his home in Waco. He's 6'5", only 175-pounder, and he's 24 years old. A change, bunted foul off to the left of the plate. So Buckner trying to dump a changeup, fouled it off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zachary pitching professionally since 1970 and having a big year in the big leagues. A 1-1 pitch, another bunt attempt, fouled away. In the count 1-2. Zachary in the minor leagues was 10-7 2 years in a row at Indianapolis. So those numbers didn't tell you anything about he was going to explode on the scene and go 14-5 this year. But he's been the mainstay of the Cincinnati staff. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bill Buckner. 1 away, first inning, no score, just the start of the ball game. Zachary ready and delivers, and Buck pops it in the air, foul, and that will go out of play. California Federal Savings, an equal housing lender with money available to help you improve your home. Hoping to improve your day on somewhat of a dismal afternoon. Get your mind off things and concentrate on the Dodgers and the Reds. Zachary looks down to Warner to get a sign. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Buck swings and misses. Down he goes, dropping his bat to boot as he chased a low changeup. 2 down, and the batter will be Reggie Smith.
Batting third, number 8, right fielder, Reggie Smith.
Reggie Smith hitting .258, but as a Dodger, he has really found a home. Playing for the Dodgers over 60 games, Reggie has hit .290. 10 of his 18 home runs, 26 of his 49 RBIs as a Dodger. Zachary's fastball picks up the edge for a strike. Reggie had 3 hits yesterday, 2 singles and a home run, his 18th of the year. Zachary checking. Werner in a crouch behind the plate. To strike one pitch, off speed, swung on and missed. Boy, that changeup is something. He struck out Buckner with it. And now Reggie Smith flying wide open, way out in front. 0-2 the count. Zachary back to the plate, 0-2, and the fastball is popped in the air. Going out to get it is Concepcion. Coming in is Bailey, but Concepcion is calling and makes the catch. So the Dodgers are gone in the first inning, and at the end of one, no score. How long has it been? I mean, when was the last time you had a bacon sandwich? No, not a bacon and egg sandwich, nor a bacon and tomato sandwich, nor a bacon and anything sandwich. I mean a bacon sandwich, period. Just 2 slices of fresh bread, lightly spread, and some crisped up bacon slices. Really something. Perhaps any bacon would do, but not nearly so well as Farmer John's. After all, it's the only bacon with the freshness of strictly fresh eastern corn-fed pork, dressed fresh in the Southland. There just isn't any other. And it's the only bacon with a hearty western flavor from the smoking. Moreover, as a very pleasing paradox of life, this bacon that gives you so much more in freshness and flavor usually costs less than other advertised brands. Farmer John bacon. The one bacon you can buy that's easternmost in quality and westernmost in flavor. Bacon so exceptional, it's awarded gold medals year after year at the California State Fair. Be sure to enjoy it often, friends, and say, don't forget that bacon sandwich. Great. The end of an inning, no score. The Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds on this 26th of September. Today in baseball, 1908, Ed Rulebach of the Cubs became the only pitcher in Major League history to pitch 2 shutouts in a doubleheader. He beat the Dodgers 5-0 and 3-0 in 9-inning games. On this date in 1951, Warren Giles, then the general manager of the Cincinnati Reds, was elected National League president, succeeding Ford Frick, who a week earlier had been elected commissioner of baseball. On this date in 1954, the Philadelphia Athletics played their last game in Philadelphia. They beat the Yankees 8-6. The following year, the A's became the Kansas City Athletics, so they ought to do a little celebrating in Kansas City today. George Foster fouls it away, 0-1. On this date in 1959, Giants pitcher Sam Jones no-hitted the Cardinals in a 7-inning game curtailed because of rain. In 1959, on this date, the Dodgers, on their way to a tie with Milwaukee, lost to the Cubs 12-3, and Milwaukee beat the Phillies. Put the Dodgers and Braves in a tie with each having 1 game to play. Boy, that was some year to remember, 1959. 1-1 the count of George Foster. Ralph back and missed inside, ball 2. On this date in 1965, Don Drysdale set a National League record, most years with 200 or more strikeouts, 6. It's been broken since by Bob Gibson. The 2-1 pitch to Foster, half swing, he held up. Ball 3, 3-1. In 1969, and this would be a milestone in the Cincinnati dugout, 1969, Larry Shepard, who is now the pitching coach of the Reds, he was released as manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Alex Grammas was appointed to finish out the year. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Foster takes a strike. And on this date, 1971, Henry Aaron hit his 47th home run of the year, his all-time high off Dodger pitcher Claude Osteen. One of 13 he hit off Osteen. Drysdale gave up more, however, 17 to Aaron. Foster hits a high fly ball to left center. It's deep, but it appears playable. And just about short of the warning track, John Hale makes the catch. So those are some milestones on this day in baseball, September the 26th. Say, friends, Union 76 dealers in California and all over the country pride themselves on stations that are neat and clean. It's all part of the spirit of 76. Here's Tony Perez, the first baseman at the plate, and Rao turns it over low, ball 1. Second inning, no score. Doug reading Kevin Paisley. Now the left-hander's 1-0 fastball in there for a strike. 1-1. Doug Rao, 2-2 last year with the Reds, 0-2 this year, and he's 5-7 lifetime. His 1-1 pitch, a fastball hit to the hole at short, backhanded by Russell, an almost impossible throw, and he got him. Perez, not the fastest man in the Cincinnati lineup. Only an outfielder's arm could have gotten him, and Russell has it. So 2 down, and Bob Bailey coming up. Doug Rao has won 5 of his last 6 decisions. He has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of his last 10 starts. Rao delivers, and he's high to Bailey, ball 1, 1-0. And Doug trying to win his 16th. So he might be the next Dodger pitcher to be zeroing in on 20 this time next year. The pitch outside, 2-0. Rao, since he came up to the Dodgers, has gradually increased his victory total. Curveball is slapped to right center field. That's a base hit. Ale over to get it. John up with it and Bailey holding with a long single. Doug came into this game with an ERA of 2.5, so he has a definite shot at the National League earned run average title. He's second to Tom Seaver. Seaver 2.4 and Rao 2.5. So if Rao pitches a shutout, he would really make a sizable dent in his ERA, and then he'd be down to 2.47, and he'd have one more shot perhaps at passing Seaver. Rao is in the dirt with a pitch, but holding at first is Bailey. 1 ball and no strikes to Davy Concepcion. Doug's biggest year in the minor leagues, he won 14 at Albuquerque. Then he came up to the Dodgers and won 2. Then he won 4. Then he won 13. And last year he won 15. So in his 5th year, he's climbing the ladder. And he's trying for his high. This would be his 16th win. Doug working with Bob Bailey at first. And the pitch to Concepcion high. Ball 2, 2-0. Davy Concepcion with Don Werner, the catcher, on deck. Rao at the belt, the 2-0 pitch on the way. It's a ground ball up the middle. Over to his left is Russell. Flips to Davy Lopes in time, and that's it. No run to hit a man left at the end of an inning and a half. No score.
It's put together to stay together to keep on safe for you. Datsun safe. Datsun safe.
Friends, if you're looking for a car that really saves, take a good look at the new Datsun V210. It gets 41 miles per gallon on the highway, 29 in the city. These are EPA mileage estimates with manual transmission. Yours may be more or less. And when you consider the low purchase price of the V210, plus all the standard features you get without paying a cent over the low base price, you get a very good idea of what your dealer means when he says Datsun save.
It's put together to stay together to keep on safe for you.
See your Southern California Datsun dealer now and enter the Golden Opportunity Day sweepstakes. You could win a 280Z and 25 Gs. Datsun, the official car of the Dodgers.
Bottom of the 2nd inning, no score in the ball game. The Reds, no runs, 2 hits, a bunt single by Griffey and a base hit to center by Bailey. And the Dodgers went down in order against Pat Zachary. Zachary, who has beaten the Dodgers 5, is shooting for his 6th straight. The Major League and National League record since 1900 of a pitcher knocking off a ball club, 9. Led by Ed Rulebach of Chicago. Against whom, do you think? You betcha, the Brooklyn Dodgers. By far the most wins versus one club in a season. The American League record is also 9. Ed Walsh for Chicago against the Yankees. The Dodger record is 5, and Zachary is one of 5 pitchers to do it. Of course, nobody will improve on Jaster's 5. Remember, they were all shutouts in 1966. Here's Garvey. He takes the strike. Chris Short beat the Dodgers 5 times in 1965. Juan Marichal beat him 5 times in 1969. Vern Law beat the Dodgers 5 times in 1960. And back in Brooklyn, Bob Buell, then with the Milwaukee Braves, beat the Brooklyn Dodgers 8 times. Of course, in those days, you played 22 games with each team and 154 for the year. Breaking ball down and away, ball 2, 2-1. Steve Garvey with 193 hits. Zachary ready, and the 2-1 pitch is low and away, ball 3. So Garvey needs 7 more hits for his 200. And he'll start to feel the pinch now. This is the one of 7 left. Garvey batting .316, 13 home runs, 79 runs batted in. The fastball, line drive, a leaping catch by Pete Rose. Garvey cannot hit a ball any harder than that. And Rose can't leap any higher. And the guy who's over 200 hits 8 times in his career takes a definite extra base hit away from Garvey. 1 down. Boy, that Rose he's incredible. He is absolutely amazing. Pete Rose. All right, here's Ron Say. Zachary's pitch is low and away. Ball 1. Don't forget, whenever you shop the meat case and deli of your market, reach for the gold medal winners from Farmer John. Rose has 209 hits himself. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Say, inside ball 2. And as Pete has often pointed out, to get 200 hits, you have to be fortunate. You have to be healthy to play every day, and some have to fall in because you know there are going to be plays like that to deprive you. Fastball to Say is low, ball 3. Ron Say. Ronnie hitting .283. They left him off the sheet, but he has 23 home runs, 79 RBIs. Now the 3-0 pitch on the way, and that's under the hands, ball 4. So Say draws a walk, and Bill Russell coming up. Russell hitting .278.
Number 18, shortstop, Bill Russell.
So Russell at the plate, and he hits a fly ball into straightaway and shallow center. George Foster coming up and makes the catch. Ron Say holding at first base. 2 down, and John Hale coming up. Hale hitting .154. For the Dodgers, running out. After today, there are 6 games remaining. 3 with Houston, and remember, Wednesday night is teen night. Teenagers can buy their reserve seats for only $1 Wednesday night. And next weekend with San Diego, Saturday afternoon, Manny Mota Day. And Sunday, Fan Appreciation Day. Talking about Manny Mota, this is Manny Mota week in Los Angeles. Zachary delivers, and Hale on that changeup is out in front, 0-1. The Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors proclaimed this week as Manny Mota week. Kicks off tonight in East Los Angeles with a festive barbecue and dance. So Manny Mota will be on it all week long. Hale drives one to center fielder George Foster. He goes back a couple to make the catch, and the Dodgers are done. They leave a man on a walk. And at the end of 2, no score.
Hay fever, allergy to ragweed, the all-American sneeze. Because ragweed originated in America. Fortunately, so did Allerest. And millions of Americans know that Allerest is all you need to help relieve your sneezing, your drippy nose, your watery eyes. So, America, if you're doing the ragweed rag these days, remember effective Allerest. We help relieve America's sneeze.
This is Leo DeRocher. May I get personal with you for a minute? Even if you shower twice a day, you can't wash away jock itch. What you need is something made specifically for jock itch, and that's Cruex, C-R-U-E-X. Cruex medicated powder relieves the itching, the chafing, and the rash. And because it's medicated, it can fight the cause of that itch. So if you suffer from chafing, rash, or jock itch, get Cruex, C-R-U-E-X, and get relief.
2 innings in, no score in the ball game. The Dodgers in Cincinnati. They played 2 good ones in this series, with the Dodgers coming from behind to win 7-6, and then yesterday the Reds coming and turning one around. The Dodgers trying to get back and coming up 1 short to lose 4-3. Today, Doug Rauh and Pat Zachary scoreless for 2. We have a chance again to remind you the Houston Astros will be in here tomorrow night. Don Sutton will try to notch his 176th career win. That would tie him with Rickyard Kennedy for 3rd place on the Dodger all-time list. Tomorrow night it'll be Don Sutton and young Dan Larson. Then Bird Hooton will go against the big man, James Rodney Richard, Tuesday night. And Richard trying for his 19th win. And then the finale Wednesday night, Tommy John and Joaquin Andujar. So we hope you'll be out here with us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night with the Astros, Wednesday night, teen night. Let's go to the 3rd. And for more play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny, and here's Don Warner, the catcher, coming on, and the first pitch comes up high, 1 ball to no strikes. By the way, Vinny, I guess we'll be blowing out the candles out at your house with daughter Erin having her 8th birthday coming up, so it ought to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, 8 years, dear. Where in the world all that?
I don't know, but she's sure a cute little good doll. And we want to wish happy birthday to Erin Scully.
Thank you. We'll give her an extra squeeze from you.
Yes, indeed. Here's the pitch to Warner, swung on and foul tip back, and the count goes 2-1. Final score, Baltimore losing to Boston 8-3. Cleveland the winner, Martinez the loser. 2-1 count as Warner waits in there, Zachary at bat. Here's the pitch, lined into center field, Russell over, can't play it. And Werner gets a single to center. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers radio network.
KTAR, Phoenix, the radio home of the NBA's Western Conference champs, the Phoenix Suns.
Pitcher Pat Zachary coming on now. Zachary perhaps being asked to bunt. Doug Rao taking a little walk around the mound. Zachary, tall and lean, stepping in. Ron Say is in at third. Here's Rao's pitch to Zachary. Bunted foul off to the right of the plate. Strike one. Zachary as a hitter this year, 7 hits and 57 at bats, and now Garvey stops to talk to Rao for a moment. The bunt apparently on, with the pitcher up after a leadoff single by Werner. Werner standing at first base. Once again, Rao ready. Zachary around to bunt. And back to the mound. Up with it is Rao. He'll go to second base. In time. Russell's throw to first. Not in time. Not in time at first. And Davey Lopes now will question the call there at first base. But to no avail. Dodgers thought they had the double play as Zachary bunted the ball back to the mound. Rao getting the out on Werner going into second base, and the throw back to Lopes, not quite. Jerry Dale said no, and Davey Lopes took a long look at Dale. All right, Rose at bat, flied to right field his first time up. So here comes Pete. 1 out, 1 on. Time called a moment as Zachary puts on the light windbreaker. Top of the third, Dodgers and the Reds for the last time this year, and the Reds lead the season series 13-4. Rose takes a strike on a fastball. 0-1. 0-1 count to Pete. On deck, Ken Griffey. Once again, Rao set, looks toward first. The pitch is a fly ball to right field. Reggie Smith right there. Backs up a step and makes the play for the out. 2 away, and the batter will be Griffey. Friends, all Datsuns come with a long list of standard equipment features that some other cars charge extra for. That's just one of the many ways Datsun saves. Here's Griffey at bat, a bunt single his first time up. Griffey now apparently has taken over the league leadership. Bill Madlock did not play yesterday, and he was hitting .336. Griffey at .336 going into today's game, and he's 1 for 1. And we're not sure whether Madlock's going to play today or not. Here's a curveball in there for a strike. It is raining in New York. And that game now is just underway. New York nothing, Chicago nothing in the second inning. And it's after 4 o'clock. There's a swing and a drive along the right field line. That's going to be in for a base hit. Over to cut it off of Smith. Zachary heading for third. Will stop there on a long single to right field by Griffey. So Griffey is 2 for 2. Boy, what a fine young hitter he is. Ken Griffey. One of the up-and-coming new young hitters in the league. And he's wearing a Cincinnati Red uniform. Here's Morgan at bat. Hit into a double play his first time up. Joe with 111 RBIs and 27 home runs. So Rao now has yielded 4 hits in the game. Single in the first on a bunt by Griffey. A single to center by Bailey in the second. Now singles by Werner and Griffey here in the third. Davey Lopes plays way over to the right now between first and second base against Morgan. Rao will go to first base, not in time. Griffey, a line drive to right field. Smith had to get to the ball in a hurry to keep Griffey from going to second base. He can fly. Here's the pitch. And it's low for a ball. 2 down. And a runner's at first and third. So Rob trying to get the last out here and cut down the side. Now the 1-0 look. Check the runner and the pitch on the way to Joe is inside low for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. The on-deck hitter is George Foster. 2-0 count. Once again, Rob checking signs, makes a throw to first base, not in time. Griffey is back. Griffey, as a base stealer this year, has done very well. 33 out of 44. And again a throw to first, and again he's back easily. Lead was not too much. Two balls and no strikes to Morgan. Again, Rao set, and again a throw to first. Griffey back standing once more. Rao to the plate, 2-0, a swing and a miss at a good off-speed pitch. 2-1. Joe a little ahead of that one. Morgan hitting .326. Back-to-back super years for little Joe. After winning the MVP last year, he's right back on target again this year. Now the look in the 2-1 pitch. Half swing bouncer wide of first. Garvey has it, carries it back to the bag, and the inning is over. So Morgan checks his swing and grounds out, and Rao gets out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and they leave 2, and the score at the end of an inning and a half. Dodgers nothing, Reds nothing.
Have you entered the Most Valuable Dodger contest yet? It's sponsored by your independent Union 76 dealer and your Datsun dealer. Here's how it works. Each time you vote for your favorite Dodger, that vote gives you a chance in the grand prize drawing on October 3rd. In addition, you're still eligible for the weekly drawing remaining on September 30th, if your vote is received prior to each date. You could be the big weekly winner of 4 Union radial steel tires, or one of the 76 other people who'll win $5 books of Union 76 auto script. In the grand prize drawing, there are 8 big prizes. A Datsun F10 hatchback, 2 sets of Union radial steel tires, 5 packages of Union 76 auto scripts worth $100 each. You don't have to buy a thing to win, but all entries must be postmarked by midnight September 30th for the grand prize drawing. Contest entry cards carry all legal details, available at all participating Union 76 and Datsun dealers. So remember to vote, and remember to put a man with spirit on your side, the spirit of 76.
The last half of the third, the Dodgers start with Paisley, Rao, and Lopes now against Zachary. Pat Zachary making his 6th start against the Dodgers this year. He has worked 40 2/3 innings against them in 5 games, so he's averaged out to a little better than 8 innings a game. 2 complete games. He had 30 strikeouts going into today for an average of 6 per game against the Dodgers. And he had 1 shutout against them. 9-0 on May 28th. Twice he's allowed 1 run and twice 3 runs. So the Dodgers trying to do something about it, and Zachary starting out as tough as ever. The only base runner, Ron Say, who drew a walk in the 2nd inning. Here's Kevin Paisley coming up now. Paisley hitting .244. Getting a chance to play every day until Steve Yeager recovers. And Steve caught yesterday briefly. But apparently Paisley's going to finish out the season behind the plate. Yeager might get in a game or so. Okay, ready to go in the last half of the 3rd inning. Zachary, tall and lean, into the windup. And the pitch comes low, ball 1. 1-0 count to Paisley. Rao out on deck. Here's the pitch. That's too low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes to Paisley. Paisley turns and looks at Tommy Lasorda in the third base coaching lines. He's out of the Bronx in New York, widespread stance. Takes a strike, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to Kevin. Takes the next one down low, ball 3. Paisley is 23 years old. He started playing at a tender age 5 years ago at Medford, Oregon. Now the 3-1 pitch on the way from Zachary. A swing and a looper hit the right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. So Paisley hits one into right for a single. That's the first Dodger hit of the game, and it brings to bat Doug Rao. Rao coming on, and as a hitter, Doug has 9 hits and 59 trips to the plate, a 153 batting average, and Rao has 7 sacrifice bunts. He'll probably be asked to bunt now with Davey Lopes on deck. So Doug steps in. Rose comes in at third. Here's the pitch, and it's low with a breaking ball. Rao around to bunt, let it go by. Final score, the Cardinals beat the Pirates 5-2, but it's too late. The Phillies won their game, and they've won the Eastern Division Championship, dethroning the Pirates. Now the 1-0 pitch to Doug, a half swing, and he fouls that one away. Tried to punch it past Rose, drawn in on the grass, and Doug got just a piece of that fastball and ticked it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 Texans. Pat Zachary on the mound, Doug Rao at the plate. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Doug around, takes high, ball 2, 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Rao having a look at third base coach Tommy Lasorda. Here's the look now. Paisley short lead at first. Pitch to Rao, butted out in front of the mound. Here's Zachary's going to go to first base with his play. In time there, and the sacrifice moves the runner over. Morgan handling the throw at first base. So with one out, the Dodgers have a runner at second base, and Davy Lopes coming on. Davy, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, and he's homered in each of the 2 games in the series. A 5th-inning home run on Friday night, and a 1st-inning home run yesterday, leading off against Gary Nolan, hit one in the seats. So Lopes is finishing up with a flourish to his here. He leads the league in stolen bases with 59. He's one ahead of Joe Morgan. And that's an amazing number for Davy Lopes. 59 steals in 111 games. Here's the pitch. Foul, back out of play, strike 1. Had Davy been healthy and played in most of the ball games, say 150 or so, no telling how many steals he would have. He'd be probably in the high 70s or even crowding 80. But that sore side slowed him down. Missed a lot of games, and he was not well when he played a lot of the times. But Davy apparently getting over the injury. 1 strike count to him. Zachary set, looks back at Paisley. Checking the pitch on the way. Breaking ball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. In the inning, a single by Paisley, and Rao moves him down with a sacrifice. Now 1-1 pitch. Zachary looks again. And Davy a half swing, gone too far, strike 2. Tried to hold up on the breaking ball, chased it across the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. The Reds coming up with 2 young starters this year, Zachary and Alcala. 25 wins between them. Zachary has 14 of those. There's a swing and a drive to center field, straight away to Foster. And makes the play for the out, 2 down. So Lopes hit that one hard, but right straight to Foster in center field. And that'll bring up Bill Buckner. Bill struck out his first time up. Bill is 11 away from the magic 200 number. And he has this one and 6 more to play. Bill had 9 hits in 3 games earlier in the week, beginning last Sunday in Atlanta. He needs something like that beginning now to get it going. Takes a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Buckner hitting .305, 7 home runs, 56 runs batted in. On deck, Reggie Smith, 2 outs, and Paisley standing at second base. Zachary set again, delivers outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. They shade Buckner a little toward the left. Bailey 2 steps toward the line, and Foster off the mark a little bit in left center field. Griffey about straight away in right. So they gap Buckner in right center. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 away. Zachary looks back again. Set at the belt, delivers. Buckner swings a drive to right center field in that gap. Base hit. Over to cut it off, Griffey. Buckner's going to try for 2, and he'll make it without a play. Dodgers lead 1-0 as Buckner doubles in the gap to right field. And for Bill, that's number 190, and the Dodgers take the lead 1-0. So Paisley single cashed in by Buckner's double, and here's Reggie Smith. Popped out his first time up. Reggie hitting .258, 18 home runs and 49 RBIs, and Reggie another one who has been troubled with physical problems all year. Reggie played out the full season. His numbers probably would have been much better. But in 60 games with the Dodgers at .290 average, change comes outside to Reggie. 1 ball, no strikes. Dodgers 1, Reds nothing. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And Smith now trying to pick up Buckner. Zachary set again to look back. And that's away for a ball. They play him straight away, and now Bailey moves way off the line against Smith. And Foster straight away in center. And Griffey is off the line in right field, so they pinch Smith up the middle. Morgan is on the rim of the grass on the right side of the infield, and Reggie takes an off-speed pitch for a strike, 2-1. When you come to a ball game, it's kind of interesting to watch how the defense moves around against each hitter. Give you an idea how they're trying to pitch to him and how they figure they're going to hit the ball and where. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball hit down the first base line, just foul, 2-1. Smitty reached for that one and rolled it away foul. Buckner at second, comes to third, turns and goes back now. Gilliam coaching at first, Lasorda at third. The Dodgers' final week beginning. They'll wind it up a week from today with Fan Appreciation Day here at Dodger Stadium. All right, 2-2 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Perez over up with it, and he'll underhand to Zachary coming over for the out to retire the side. So they're all gone in the third. The Dodgers show 1 run, 2 hits, and they leave a man. And the score at the end of
produced every year in the United States, and needless to say, only a fraction are Farmer John wieners. But while Farmer John's output might skyrocket if he were to have plants across the country like the huge national packers, that isn't for him. He feels his wieners, like all of his products, deserve his personal attention if he's to keep faith with the public in producing only the finest. So every weekday, he's on the job at his family-owned place, making sure that what goes on is exactly the way he wants it. That's quite a switch from hot dog plants controlled by absentee owners. And this could be a reason why Farmer John wieners don't vary like some. From package to package, they have the same extra meaty goodness of strictly fresh eastern corn-fed pork and lean western beef, the same natural spiciness, and the same smoke-rich western flavor. Farmer John wieners, made to Farmer John's rigid standards under his personal supervision. So you can enjoy them time after time to the fullest.
All right, we played 3 innings, and the Dodgers lead 1-0 with Doug Rao spinning them down to Kevin Paisley. Dodgers out defensively down, the Reds coming on, and for more action, let's go back to Vinny.
All right, Jerry. Doug Rao leading 1-0, and he'll be pitching to George Foster, then Tony Perez and Bob Bailey. Dodgers trying to beat Zachary for the first time this year. Foster flied to center in the second. He's 0 for 1. Doug Rao up on top looks in to get a sign. The Dodgers have never done much scoring against Zachary. In fact, in 2 of his victories, the Dodgers scored only once, and he shut him out once. Pitch over for a strike. And in the other 2 games, the Dodgers scored 3 times in each game and lost. Here's the strike 1 pitch coming up. Rao delivers. Foster swings and misses. 1-1 to George. Oh, 0-2 to George Foster here in the 4th inning. 1-0 Dodgers. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Foster strikes out. 1 away. Tony Perez coming up. Tony grounded to short in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. California Federal Savings, the nation's largest federal. Happy to send it to you. Tony at 260 with 83 runs batted in. Takes high and outside. Ball 1. Tony has piled up over 1,100 runs batted in playing for Cincinnati. You understand why he's been such a fixture for them. There's a one-hopper that almost eats Russell alive, but he stays with it. Throws him out. Woo! That would knock your belt buckle off at least. 2 down. And the batter is Bob Bailey. Bob Bailey singled to center in the 2nd inning. Rao into the windup and delivers, and he's a trifle high. Ball 1, 1-0. Bailey batting .284. Half a dozen home runs, 22 runs batted in. Takes a look at a fastball strike, and the count 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch coming up. Slow curve, and he missed outside and low with it. Ball 2, 2-1. Top of the 4th, 2 down, bases empty. Dodgers 1, Reds 0. Rao comes back 2-1 and flipped it inside. Ball 3. Al Downing had the Reds shut out yesterday into the 7th inning. They went on to win it 4-3. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Bailey. Fastball low, and Bob's aboard with a walk. So Rao walks a batter to go along with his strikeout, and it brings up Davey Concepcion. 2 out, 4th inning. Dodgers 1, Reds 0. Davey hitting .281 with 9 home runs, 68 runs batted in. Remember that story early in the year? Oh, it was the first time we saw Cincinnati, I guess. Concepcion was having trouble getting base hits, so he decided to take a shower before the game in order to wash away the evil spirits, and that didn't work. And he kept thinking about, what can I do to wash away the evil spirits? He takes outside ball 1, and he finally got into a washing machine in Chicago that they used to wash the uniforms. And then Pat Zachary turned it on with Concepcion inside the washing machine. Pitch for a strike, 1-1. That must be the most terrifying thing in the world. Then he got into the dryer and then went out on the field. 1-1 to count to Davy Concepcion, and the pitch is low and outside, ball 2. 2-1. On deck, Don Werner, the young catcher. 1-0 Dodgers, 4th inning. Bailey at first, Garvey not holding. Doug delivers, and he turned it over, and it's fouled away to Werner in the on-deck circle, and he plays Pepper with it and hits it right back to Kevin Paisley. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Davy Concepcion. 2 down, top of the 4th. Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits. Reds no runs, 4 hits. We have 6 left after today. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights with the Astros. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon with San Diego. Here's a little looper. Lopes can't get it. It just goes under his glove into right field. By the time Reggie gets it back into the infield, over to third goes Bailey. So a little blooper just underneath the glove of Lopes into the hole and through into right field. And that brings up Don Werner with runners at first and third and 2 out.
Don Werner.
5 hits for the Reds. Griffey is 2 for 2. Don Werner single to center in the 3rd inning. Right-hand hitting catcher. Rao out of a stretch. A check of the runners and a curveball, and that's low, ball 1. Werner was 0 for 2 in the big league, so with a base hit today, that gives him 1 for 3 and consequently a .333 batting average. Right-hand hitting catcher. The 1-0 pitch is instead a throw to first. Concepcion has stolen 20 out of 30. The next stolen base for the Reds will give them 200. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Outside, ball 2, 2-0. Dodgers have stolen 134. 2-0 to Werner. On deck is the pitcher, Pat Zachary. Now the 2-0 pitch way outside, and Doug suddenly, after getting the first 2 batters, walks Bailey, gives up a bloop single to Concepcion, and he's suddenly a pitch away from loading him up. Rao taking a breather, standing back of the rubber. 3-0 to Don Werner, just up from Indianapolis. The 3-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 3-1. Doug, thinking over his pitches, now plants the left foot. Checks of the runner, and the 3-1 pitch coming up. With the runner going, it's low. Ball 4 to load him up. So Werner goes to first, Concepcion to second, Bailey to third, and Pat Zachary slowly making his walk up to home plate. By the way, to all of our Jewish friends who might be listening in, a very happy Rosh Hashanah, the start of the Jewish New Year today. And we understand it's year 5737. Happy Rosh Hashanah to all of you. 5737. Here's Pat Zachary. He hit into a force play in the 3rd inning. And he comes up with a chance to turn it around. The Dodgers leading 1-0. Zachary has 7 hits and 2 runs batted in this year. Rao into the windup and delivers. Fastball, soft line, 1 hopper. Speared by Lopes, throws him out. A little liner towards the hole. It took 1 bounce, and Davy was just able to get it. Got his man, and Rao is out of the jam. Big play by Davy Lopes. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. The end of 3.5, Dodgers 1, Reds 0.
It's put together to stay together to keep on safe for you. Datsun Save. Datsun Save.
A lot of folks these days want the economy of a little car and the luxury of a big one. And you know what? They're describing the new Datsun 610. It's a Datsun, so you know it's economical. But you'll have to see and feel its luxury. Bucket seats, full carpeting, electric clock. Little touches like a cigarette lighter and package tray show extra care and thought. The Datsun 610, in every respect, it's the small car with a big ride.
It's put together to stay together to keep on safe for you. Datsun Save. Datsun Save.
See your Southern California Datsun dealer now and enter the Golden Opportunity Day sweepstakes. You could win a 280Z and 25 Gs. Datsun, the official car of the Dodgers.
Bottom of the fourth inning, the Dodgers leading the Reds 1-0. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. And the Reds, no runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Final score, California beat Minnesota 4-1. So yesterday, Nolan Ryan lost his 18th. Today, Frank Tanana wins his 18th. He beat Hughes. Pat Zachary getting ready. Steve Garvey, Ron Say, and Bill Russell coming up in that order.
First baseman, Steve Garvey.
Garvey almost broke the ball in the second inning. He hit a ball as hard as it is humanly possible to hit a ball, and Pete Rose made a magnificent leaping catch to take a base hit away from him. And you just have to marvel, day after day, how in the world a big leaguer, as good as he is, can react that quickly. Pat Zachary into the windup, delivers. Garvey looks at a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Fourth inning, 1-0 Dodgers. Zachary delivers, and he's down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steve Garvey, boy, he'll never come any closer to getting a base hit and lose one. So he has 193. The 1-1 pitch is hit to center. Coming up for it is Foster, but it's going to land. Base hit. So Garvey now has 194. A half a dozen to go, and Ron Say, the batter. Say, do you expect service when you drive into a service station? You certainly have the right to. And be sure to stop at Union 76. Put a man with spirit on your side. The spirit of 76. Say at the plate. Zachary delivers, and a slider away. Ball 1. Ron hitting 283, the start of the day. 23 home runs, 79 RBIs. When he walked in the second inning, it was the 86th walk that Say has received. He takes low, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes to Ron Say. Garvey at first. Say waiting, and a 2-0 pitch to Ron. Half swing foul. Ronnie has 136 hits. So remember when you were in Sandlot Ball and they'd always holler a walk is as good as a hit? Well, if that's so, he's way over the 200 mark with 86 walks. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Say, taking high, ball 3, 3-1. Can you imagine in the big leagues, as a ball player, you go into the general manager and say, well, wait a minute, a walk's as good as a hit? They've always told me that. Mm-hmm. See you later. 3-1, the count to Ron Say. Zachary, a check of Garvey, who goes. It swung on and missed. Werner's throw is way off the line. So Steve Garvey steals his 16th. That's a 2-to-1 ratio for him. 16 out of 24. 3-2, the count to Ron Say. Ron looking for his 80th run batted in. He's got a chance. Zachary out of a stretch. Looks at Garvey, right-handed deals, low, and there he goes again. 87 walks for Ron Say. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Johnny Lynn, Arizona's only farm news editor, here on KTAR Phoenix.
Bill Russell, the batter. Outfield fanned out on Russell. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. Zachary delivers. Russell around to bunt. Takes low. Ball 1. Garvey at second. Say at first. In the fourth inning, Dodgers leading 1-0. Russell with 64 RBIs. Is high in the big league, 65. The 1-0 pitch to Russell. He's bunting, and it goes foul up along third. In the count, 1-1. On deck, John Hale. Garvey returns to second. Say to first. 1-0 Dodgers, fourth inning, and Zachary hands it aside, checking Don Werner. Now the right-hander ready, and Pat's 1-1 pitch. Russell is bunting, foul. Back to the screen, 1-2. Russell this year has sacrificed 6 times. Ted Sizemore leads the starters in sacrifices. He sacrificed 10. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Russell swinging, ground ball to Rose. He's on his knees, then comes up with it and throws to Morgan, who saves a wild throw, and they get a pause. So Russell hit the ball hard, Rose dropping to his knees, and then his hurried throw was heading toward right field, except that Joe Morgan made a good play. So they get a force 5-4, one down, and John Hale, the batter. John Hale lined out to center fielder George Foster. Hale, left-hand hitting center fielder. Garvey down the line from third. Bill Russell at first. Russell has stolen 14 out of 19. Zachary checking, and the right-hander works Hale, and he hits a change, dribbles it up along first. The run will score. The out from Werner to Perez. So John Hale was badly fooled on the changeup, and he still picks up an RBI with that little dribbler. So the Dodgers lead 2-0. Russell goes to second base, and Kevin Paisley, the batter.
Kevin Paisley, catcher.
So the Dodgers 2 runs on 3 hits. And here is Paisley. He singled, worked his way around to score in the 3rd inning. Right-hander Zachary's fastball is low. Ball 1, 1-0. Kevin back up to the plate. Now Zachary's 1-0 pitch on the way. It's a ground ball to the right side. Morgan has it, throws over to Tony Perez, and that's it. But the Dodgers get a base hit and a walk and parlay them for a run. At the end of 4, Dodgers 2, Reds nothing.
If you'd like to brighten your home or furniture without completely redecorating, see the fabulous line of Ajax decorative cabinetware and ceramics at your participating Century Hardware, the store with a Minuteman Century on the door. Your Century man will show you beautiful knobs, hooks, and drawer pulls in brilliant glazed ceramic colors. They're a bright, happy way to perk up a bath, accent a kitchen, or bring new life to old furniture. Or add the elegance of fine crystal with sparkling pulls on chrome or brass pedestals. For metal cabinetware, Century Hardware has a complete decorating choice with Ajax styles from colonial to contemporary and a selection of finishes that includes brass, copper, silver, and chrome. Ajax puts a distinctive finishing touch on your cabinets, doors, and furniture, and Century has the entire Ajax line. Look in the yellow pages under Hardware. Then shop at the store with the Minuteman Century on the door. Your independently owned Century Hardware store.
Through 4 innings, the Dodgers leading the Reds 2-0. Rams are down to the Giants 10-7, and a final New England upset Pittsburgh 30-27. Minnesota barely edged the Detroit Lions 10-9. But gee, New England knocks off Pittsburgh 30-27. They're becoming killers. New England beat Miami last week. And Pittsburgh has lost to Oakland and New England. The season just starting. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Reds. Pete Rose to start it off. He'll be followed by Ken Griffey and then Joe Morgan. Pete Rose twice flied to right field. Pete, batting right-handed, is hitting about 280 this year. But he's hitting 346, batting left-handed. Rao delivers outside. Ball 1, 1-0. Dug into the windup. The 1-0 pitch. Rose hits a one-hopper, backing up to get a bounce as Lopes, and he throws to Garvey for the out. 1 down, and Ken Griffey 2 for 2 with a bunt single and a single to right coming up.
Right fielder.
Don't forget, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, be sure to try those little 2-ounce smoked ham steaks in the handy 6-pack from Farmer John. Ken Griffey, battling for the National League batting title. He and Bill Madlock figure to go right down to the wire. Griffey takes a big, slow curveball over for a strike, 0-1. Griffey is hitting .338 right now, so he's out in front of Madlock. Here's the strike one pitch, curve in the dirt, short hop by Paisley. Griffey running up as if to bunt, 1-1 to count. I would think Griffey has an exceptional chance to beat Madlock. He's left-handed, he plays on AstroTurf, and he can run like the wind. Ken Griffey. Rao checking, dug into the windup. And the 1-1 pitch, the ground ball pulled. Bad hop. Garvey stayed with it. Gets him at the bag. Thing almost kangarooed over Steve's left shoulder. 2 down, and Joe Morgan the batter.
Second baseman, Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan. If you were listening to Bob Hertzel on the pregame show, Joe wins hands down the honors on the Cincinnati Ball Club of being the best dressed. As Morgan said, he has stopped wearing sports jackets. He has gone to 3-piece suits, and he has too many to count. Well, he just busted his vest button with a pop foul to Garvey, and that's that. So the Reds are gone at the end of 4.5. Dodgers 2, Reds nothing. Say, the next time you go to a baseball game, notice the relief pitchers that start to warm up when the starting pitcher gets in a little trouble. When a reliever comes in, it's usually a tight situation, and a few bad pitches could lose the ball game. So he works hard in the bullpen before he goes in. He knows he has to be completely prepared if he's going to get the job done. Well, at Union 76, they also believe in being completely prepared in order to service your car properly. Well, that's why there's the Certified Service Program. When you see those certified service stripes on your independent Union 76 dealer's uniform, you know he spent many long hours learning how to service your car. And backing him up, he has the most modern equipment available, plus a complete line of parts and accessories. So when something goes wrong with your car, or you want a thorough professional tune-up, look for the man who's completely prepared to get the job done for you. Your certified Union 76 dealer. Put a man with spirit on your side, the spirit of 76. To the bottom of the 5th inning, the Dodgers 2 runs, 3 hits and no errors. The Reds, no runs, 5 hits and no errors. Pat Zachary tuning up, and the Dodgers will have Doug Rao, Davey Lopes, and Bill Buckner. 6 to go for the Dodgers, that is. The Reds have a few more to play. The Dodgers with 6, 3 with Houston, 3 with San Diego, and they'll ring down the curtain on Sunday. Doug Rao sacrificed in the 3rd inning. Doug has not been up officially.
Number 31. Pitcher.
And here we go into the 5th. 2-0 Dodgers. Rao with 9 hits and 2 runs batted in. Stops to visit with Bob Engel, the plate umpire. So a couple of Texans fighting each other now. Pat Zachary, who lives in Waco. Doug Rao from Columbus. Pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Perez and Morgan, Concepcion and Rose, Bailey, Foster, and Griffey in the outfield. Don Werner behind the plate. And Rao pops it up to Concepcion, who takes a little walk to his right. Backs out on the grass and makes the catch. 1 away. The Dodgers, with 3 left-handers against Cincinnati, beat them 7-6. Lost 4-3, but they lost because the right-hander was pitching, Sosa. And they're leading today 2-0 with left-handers, and you just wonder about Danny Ozark and his thinking to pitch to Davey Lopes a strike. Of course, you know Jim Cott will be pitching in the playoffs, but you got to be inclined to think that maybe left-handers, if they can't stop Cincinnati, they can at least slow them down a little bit. There's a drive into left center field. Foster on a dead run with Bailey, but it's up the alley. And little Davey goes flying into second base with a double. And he's 1 for 3. Against left-handers,
Bill.
the Reds have won 33 and lost 17, so they're almost 2-1. Davey Lopes is now hit in 12 out of 13. And Bill Buckner, the batter, 1 out. 2-0 Dodgers in the 5th inning as they try to beat Pat Zachary for the first time this year. Zachary has beaten them 5 straight. Zachary out of a stretch, looks at Lopes, now comes to the plate, and it's outside. Ball 1, 1-0. Bill Buckner, as he stands at the plate, has 56 runs batted in. Then he picked up one today to give him 57. Here's the pitch to Buck, and that's a strike. So he needs one more RBI to get to his high of 58. He has a golden opportunity with a man who can run at second base and one out. Zachary out of a stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Buckner fouls it away off to the left out of play. Buck, with his double in the third inning, has 190 hits, and he's hit in 11 straight. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits. Reds no runs, 5 hits in the fifth. Zachary out of a stretch. 1-2 pitch, change, hit on the ground to Perez. Tony brings it to the bag. Lopes takes third. Boy, that's an effective pitch for Pat Zachary. A great changeup. Say, friends, be sure to vote for the most valuable Dodger. You know, you could win a new Datsun F10 or other prizes. Ballots at participating Datsun and Union 76 dealers. And remember, too, the polls close midnight, September 30th. And of course, today, in case you don't have a calendar handy, is the 26th. Here's Reggie Smith trying to get Lopes home with 2 out. And Reggie takes high, ball 1. Zachary looks down to get a sign from Werner. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball outside, ball 2. Two and 0, the count to Reggie Smith. Zachary back to the hitter on the hand, swung on and missed. 2-1. Dodgers 2, Reds nothing, bottom of the fifth. Zachary back to his hitter outside, so it's in and out, and he's behind 3-1. On deck, Steve Garvey. Now the 3-1 pitch to Reggie Smith, changed, but he missed, ball 4. So Garvey coming up, lined out and singled. He's 1 for 2. Garvey robbed of a hit by Rose, then managed to get a base hit. He has 194. So he needs 6 more hits for 200. Reggie Smith at first, Davy Lopes at third, 2 out in the fifth. 2-0 Dodgers. Zachary out of a stretch, delivers, and he's low, ball 1, 1-0. For Garvey, at this stage of the year, and in the particular situation he finds himself, he might very well rather start off an inning. The 1-0 pitch inside, ball 2. If he starts off an inning, the pitcher would not be quite so careful. Consequently, he might not walk, lose a time at bat. Also, in coming up with a man or men on base, he can hit a ball that might ordinarily be a base hit, and it can be turned into a force play. So when you're shooting for something as precious as Garvey's goal now, I would think, all things considered, he'd just as soon hit with the bases empty. Zachary out of a stretch in the 2-0 pitch to Steve. Way outside, ball 3. So in pitching so very carefully to him, it's 3-0. Garvey looking at Lasorda. Of course, Alston is very conscious of the desires and the goals of the young fellas, and I would think he would let Garvey swing 3-0 in this spot if he likes the pitch. Garvey might lay off it anyway, but I would think he would be allowed to swing. Zachary ready, delivers, and it's low, ball 4, so he's lost a chance to swing. So the bases are loaded, 2 out, 2-0 Dodgers, and Ron Say the batter. Zachary, in trying to pitch around the heart of the Dodger lineup, has walked 4. He's walked Reggie Smith once, Garvey once, and Say twice. And now he has no place to put Say. Bases loaded, 2 out, 5th inning, 2-0 Dodgers. Zachary deals, change low, ball 1. He's struggling. The final meeting of the year between the Dodgers and the Reds. Dodgers have won only 4 of 17. Lopes at third, Smith at second, Garvey at first. 2 out. Zachary to the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball low, ball 2. Larry Shepard up the steps, and time called as the pitching coach making his way out to the mound. So Larry Shepard, seeing if he can't find something wrong, and spot it and resolve it immediately with the bases loaded. Then he'll talk to Pat Zachary. In fact, it looks like he's talking more to the young catcher, Don Werner. 2 balls and no strikes to Ron Say. Bases loaded, 2 out. Manuel Sarmiento throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. Boy, Sarmiento is something. He is 5-1 since they called him up. The 2 fellas on the Cincinnati staff who are no doubt dissatisfied with their year would be Jack Billingham, who is 11-10, and the left-hand relief man, Will McEnany, who is 2-6. All right, Larry Shepard slowly walking back to the dugout. Ron Say just as slowly walking back up to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 out in the 5th, 2-0 Dodgers. Dodgers with a chance to break the spell and get rid of Zachary. Pat ready, and the 2-0 pitch is a bouncer foul out to the birthday boy of yesterday, Tommy Lasorda. 2-1. Bill Russell on deck. Tomorrow night, Don Sutton will go after win number 21 against Dan Larson. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Say. Swung on and missed slider, 2-2. Tuesday night, Bird Hooton and James Rodney Richard, the big guy who throws so very hard. And Wednesday night, teen night, Tommy John, Joaquin Andujar. Say waiting, 2-2. Zachary ready, and the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Zachary continues to have the Dodgers talk to themselves. Say strikes out with the bases loaded. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. At the end of 5, Dodgers 2, Reds nothing. Every great chef strives for perfection, and if, for example, his hot chocolate souffle misses by a mere millimeter in rising to the height he desires, well, he's not quite happy with it. Well, Farmer John isn't a great chef, nor even a chef, period. But he, too, and with personal pride in the doing, strives to come as close as possible to perfection in preparing his sausage. A must, of course, is strictly fresh pork. So Farmer John makes his sausage with finest Eastern corn-fed pork. He dresses fresh himself the very same day. It simply couldn't be any fresher. Then he follows to the letter his old-time Western recipe. It calls for a special blend of choice natural herbs and spices, which he adds to the pork with meticulous accuracy. Well, that's why his sausage always has the same lively Western flavor. Doesn't vary in taste from package to package like some. You can enjoy the result of Farmer John's efforts towards perfection in both patties from the roll, mild or hot, as well as in skinless links. And why not do that regularly?
Fan Appreciation Day, next Sunday, October 3rd.
Friends, Danny Goodman has a current souvenir offer, a Dodger warm-up jacket, a T-shirt, a Dodger yearbook, and an 8x10 team photo in color, and suitable for framing. All for only $5. Send $5 to Danny Goodman, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, 90012. 6 left on the homestand. Houston tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, with Wednesday night team night. And then Friday night, San Diego will be here. Saturday afternoon, Manny Mota Day. And Sunday, it'll be Fan Appreciation Day. So a week from today, the curtain comes down at Dodger Stadium for the 1976 season. So you have 6 left. Come on out and take in a ball game. Okay, more play. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry. 2-0 Dodgers as we go to the 6th inning. And for the 3rd time today, George Foster leads off an inning. That's not a bad way to have it. If you are a pitcher and you would have your druthers, that would really be according to plan. Because the Reds are just not going to score that many times if George Foster keeps leading off an inning. He's their big RBI guy, and there's nobody to knock in but himself. Rout deals high, ball 1. George, 0 for 2, flied to center and struck out. Doug back to the plate, 1-0, and that's a line drive at Lopes. 1 down in the 6th inning. And Tony Perez coming up. Grounded to short twice, 0 for 2. On the message board, happy birthday greetings to Jim Mewey. And that's Jim Jr., who is 7 years old today. Jim Mewey is the man behind the scenes His dad is in charge of the visiting clubhouse here at Dodger Stadium, breaking ball over for a strike, 0-1. And I just wasn't thinking. I should have realized that his boy was born the same date as one of my daughters. Strike one, pitch on the way. High, 1-1. So the little Jim, who is getting to be Big Jim, 7 years old today, on this 26th of September. 1-1 to Tony Perez. Rao deals, and there's a fly ball to left center. He hit it more off the end of the bat, and Hale has to come up and get it. 2 down. Bob Bailey singled and walked. Bailey 1 for 1.
Bob Bailey.
Bailey has had a solid year for the Reds. Overall average 284 coming into the game. And as a pinch hitter, 9 for 26. Bob, right-hand batter, waiting. Rao ready, delivers, low and inside. Ball 1. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 5 hits for the Reds. Rao's fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch, turnover, and a whack into left center field for a base hit. John Hale up with it. So Bob Bailey, 2 singles and a walk. He's 2 for 2, and the batter is Davey Concepcion. Concepcion started today at 281. Hit into a force play in the second inning, single to right in the fourth.
Dave Concepcion, shortstop.
Set at the belt, looks over at first, works his hitter, and there's a line drive base hit to center. Bailey to second and holding. The Reds have had their chances. They've left 6 men on. The Dodgers have left 6. And now with 2 on and 2 out, the batter is Don Werner, the catcher. And here in the inning, the key right now, that line drive by Foster right at Davy Lopes.
Don Werner.
Telephone ringing in the Dodger bullpen, so we'll have some action down there in a moment. Don Werner singled and walked. The right-hand hitting catcher, 1 for 1. Charlie Huff and Dennis Llewellyn will begin to throw in the Dodger bullpen. And here is Werner. Rao set at the belt. Ready, delivers, and it swung on and missed. He turned it over. 0-1. The Reds loaded the bases in the fourth inning. With 2 out, they had Pat Zachary at the plate, and he almost hit one through into right field. Lopes bailed out Rao with a good play. Now the strike one pitch to Werner, and that's low and outside, 1-1. One and one to Don Werner. Bailey at second, Concepcion at first. Rao delivers, foul down the right field line, back into the lower deck, 1-2. 1-2 the count to Don Werner. To Don Werner. Next one foul back. That carries deep in the lower deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Don Werner. Bob Bailey at second. Davey Concepcion at first. 2 out in the 6th inning. Dodgers 2, Reds nothing. The Dodgers 2 runs on only 4 hits. The Reds no runs, and they have 7 hits. Doug hands it aside, checking with Kevin Paisley. And the 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball low, ball 2. Werner started to go after it and held up. 2-2 to the right-hand hitting catcher, Don Werner. Werner is from Appleton, Wisconsin. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, hammered down the left field line. That's in there and rolling to the wall. Bailey will score. Concepcion is heading for the plate. Russell throws in time. Oh, what a play by Bill Russell. Magnificent play. shortstop can make a better relay. No way. Absolutely no way. So Russell makes a magnificent play to nip Davy Concepcion at the plate. It goes as a double for Werner. 1 run, 3 hits. Oh, was that artistry? Wow. And at the end of 5 1/2, Dodgers 2, Reds 1. Friends, you can win a new front-wheel drive Datsun F10. All you have to do is vote for the most valuable Dodger in Datsun's big 4th annual Most Valuable Dodger contest. This year, in addition to the fun-driving F10 awarded by your nearby Datsun dealer, there are 300 other weekly and grand prizes presented by Union Oil. Yes, including Union 76 Autoscript books and sets of radial tires. You can win a sparkling Datsun F10, help your favorite Dodger win a fabulous fuel-injected Datsun 280Z, simply by filling out a Most Valuable Dodger entry blank at your participating Datsun or Union 76 dealer. Mail it to contest headquarters, making sure it's postmarked before midnight September 30th. The contest is open to licensed drivers only. Enter as often as you like for the weekly and grand prizes. No purchase necessary. Here's a fantastic opportunity to win big, but you can't win without entering, so hurry on down to your nearby participating Datsun or Union 76 dealer for full details. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Dodgers. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
KTAR, Phoenix, the radio home of the NBA's Western Conference champs, the Phoenix Suns.
Bottom of the 6th inning, and Bill Russell, who just made an absolutely magnificent play, will start it off. Then John Hale and Kevin Paisley. Pitch outside, ball 1. We're not only all a victim of circumstances, but in baseball, the play is as big, naturally, relative as to the importance of the play. The pitch to Russell, low ball 2. For instance, if Russell makes that play in the World Series, it's topic A all over the country. The 2-0 pitch is hit down the left field line, hooking foul and out of play. What Russell did as the relay man, he's out in the outfield, and he takes the throw from Bruckner, and he's got his back to home plate. There's no chance of him turning, looking, setting himself, and then throwing. He had to take the ball and without a fraction of a second, throw to the plate. 2-1 pitch is grounded to short. Concepcion backhanding it, and guns just in time. So Russell is out on a good play by Concepcion. 1 away. Awfully close. Jim Gilliam just kind of cocked his head and looked at Jerry Dale. 1 down.
Center field.
John Hale lined out and rolled out. Kevin Paisley on deck. Pat Zachary looks into Don Werner, the right-hander ready, and the pitch is low and inside, ball 1. So the Dodgers won the first game 7-6, and the Reds came back to win yesterday 4-3, and now we have the Dodgers trying to hang on 2-1. Great games. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to John Hale. Zachary into the windup. Now the 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3. 3-0. The count of John. Zachary into the windup. The 3-0 pitch, and that's in there for a strike. 3-1. Pat Zachary, 24 years old, off to what should be a great career in the big leagues. Now the 3-1 pitch. Change. Swung on and missed. Boy, has he got a dandy. Whew. That's no doubt about it why he has become a big winner. Where he didn't have impressive numbers in the minor leagues. Now he's almost 3-1 on the right side, and I bet that change has a lot to do with it. There's another one, and he struck him out with it. So back-to-back change-ups to strike out John Hale. 2 down in the 6th inning, and Kevin Paisley the batter.
Catcher, Kevin Paisley.
That's probably one of the biggest reasons why you look at a pitcher's background, and in the minor leagues, there's nothing outstanding about him. He might win 1 or 2 more than he loses, just kind of rolling along. And then he comes to the big leagues, and all of a sudden, he's a big winner. And you say, well, that's kind of strange. He never had those numbers in the minors. Pitch over for a strike. And the big reason why he didn't have the numbers, he was learning one particular pitch or his control, whatever it may be. And when he came to the big leagues, he had that learned, and bingo. Here's the strike one pitch on the outside corner, strike two. But for Pat Zachary, besides a good fastball and a good slider, had straight change as that's a dandy. Here's the strike two pitch to Paisley. Outside, ball one, 1-2. Pat had 110. He lost 7 last year. But he did have a good ERA of 2.4. Little nubber foul behind the plate. So Paisley still there, 1-2. Kevin, in his stance, you don't expect the changeup to give him too much of a bad time because he's spread-eagled at the plate. He doesn't take that big stride, but it can fool the best of them. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball inside, ball 2. 2-2 to Kevin Paisley. 2 out in the 6th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. Zachary to the windup. 2-2, breaking ball. That slider down and away, ball 3. Bad time because he's spread-eagled at the plate. He doesn't take that big stride, but it can fool the best of them. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball inside, ball 2. 2-2 to Kevin Paisley. 2 out in the 6th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. Zachary to the windup. 2-2, breaking ball. That slider down and away, ball 3. Three and 2 to Kevin Paisley. Zachary to the windup. 3-2 pitch. Fastball hit the shortstop. Surrounded by Concepcion, and it runs up his arm for an error. Davey is not quite the same player on dirt as he is in Cincinnati. And when we said surrounded, that's just what he did on that ground ball. It was hit to his right, but instead of running on a straight line or even angling in on the ground ball, he followed the curvature of the infield. He actually took a round trip. By the time he got there, the ball hit off the heel of his glove, and he draws an error. Now the Dodgers will go to the bench, and Ed Goodson will come up and hit for Doug Rauh. For Rauh, he has been struggling the last few innings. And, of course, it took that fantastic relay throw by Bill Russell to keep Rauh part of the lead. So Ed Goodson will now come up and hit for him. And Rauh goes out winning, and it will depend on the bullpen. Charlie Huff throwing in the Dodger bullpen. And the pitch to Ed Goodson, a strike, 0-1. Goody hitting .223, but more important as a pinch hitter. He's had 14 hits. He needs one more to tie Mota's record. There it is. Line drive into left field. Base hit for Goodson. That's his 15th hit of the year to tie a Los Angeles Dodger pinch hit record for most in a season, 15 of them. So Eddie, with that sweet swing, just lines it to left. Final score, Atlanta with 6 runs in the 8th inning. Beats San Diego 10-4. Devine the winner, Metzger the loser. And Davy Lopes coming up. We're going to have a runner for Ed Goodson, or maybe for Kevin Paisley. So we're going to have a runner for somebody in a moment. And it'll be a wild pitch. We talked before about Goodson and his 15 pinch hits. As a pinch hitter, Ed Goodson is hitting .366. They don't come much tougher than that. All right, here's Lopes' 1-0 pitch. Davey fouls it away off to the right. That carries right up into the press box, and the count 1-1. 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers. They have second and third and 2 out. 1-1 pitch to Lopes is a comebacker on a check swing. Davey tried to hold up and hits back to the box. So the Dodgers in their last 2 innings have left 5 men on base. And at the end of 6, Dodgers 2, Reds 1.
Oh, beautiful Fort Fraser, skies forever, waves are gray.
Hay fever, allergy to ragweed, the all-American sneeze, because ragweed originated in America. Fortunately, so did Allerest,
And millions of Americans know that Allerest is all you need to help relieve your sneezing, your runny nose, your watery eyes. Allerest, we help relieve America's sneeze.
From sea to shining sea.
Hi, this is Dick Clark. May I get personal with you for a minute? You know, even if you shower twice a day, you can't wash away jock itch. What you need is something made specifically for jock itch, and that's Cruex. C-R-U-E-X. Cruex medicated powder relieves the itching, the chafing, the rash. And because it's medicated, it can fight the cause of that itch. So if you suffer from chafing, rash, or jock itch, get Cruex, C-R-U-E-X, and get relief.
Through 6 innings, the Dodgers 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Reds 1 run, 8 hits, and 1 error. A new Dodger battery, Charlie Huff on the mound, and Steve Yeager behind the plate. Doug Rao goes out, allowing 1 run in 6 innings. They mentioned earlier he's battling Tom Seaver, and he has a little bit of a chance to be the ERA leader, and it was chopped down to 2.54. So it'll be interesting to see how close Doug can come. Seaver is 2.43, and he'll make a start. It'll be interesting to see. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. 1 run, 8 hits, 1 error for the Reds. Couple of football finals. New Orleans beat Kansas City 27-17. And Minnesota over Detroit 10-9. And for New Orleans, a big victory, particularly deep down in the heart of one Hank Stram, to take over in New Orleans and go back to Kansas City, the team that fired him, and to knock off Kansas City. Well, Henry's got to be walking on air tonight. 6 innings, the Dodgers 2, the Reds 1. Let's go to the 7th. More play, here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny, and Mike Lum's going to bat now for Zachary with Charlie Huff and Steve Yeager, the new Dodger battery. Lum began the uprising for the Reds yesterday in the 8th inning with the score tied 2-2. He came on as a pinch hitter and doubled. Then a couple of more singles, and the Reds had 2 more runs, and that was enough to win 4-3. Those against Sosa. Huff's pitch, high outside, ball 1. For Charlie Huff, his 73rd appearance, he has won 12 and lost 8, and has saved 16. He was the winner in the opening game of the series in that 7-6 game after the Reds had scored twice in the 9th inning, or the 3 times in the 9th. The Dodgers scored twice to come back and win it. Charlie going 2-0 to Lum. Fastball is in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Zachary has worked 6 innings, allowed 2 runs and 5 hits. Well, Zachary, still the pitcher of record. Here's the pitch on the way. Pop foul out of play, and it's a 2-2 count. If the Dodgers can retire the side in the 7th before the Reds score a run or more, then there's no way Zachary, of course, can beat them for the 6th time this year. But he's still the pitcher of record this half inning. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way to Lum. Knuckleball, strike 3. So Charlie dances one in there, and that's a strikeout number 1, and it'll be Pete Rose coming up. Rose has flied out twice and grounded out. Pete hitting .327. The hot hitter today, Griffey with 2. Well, actually, 4 Red players have 2 apiece. Werner has driven in the run with a double, and he also has a single. Rose now will turn around, bat from the left side. Pete is a right-hand batter against Rao, 1-0 for 3. So, Charlie Huff ready to go. Knuckleball, little low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Yeager appeared briefly in the game yesterday and threw out a base runner. Pitch is high for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Crowd of 30,094 for the game today. Rose takes outside, ball 3, and it goes to a 3-ball, no strike count. 3-0 now. So Charlie, he got in trouble with walks in Friday night's 9th inning. Walked a couple. It's a ground ball to Garvey up with it as Rose goes for the 3-0 pitch, and he is out easily. Garvey carries it into the bag. So Rose got a 3-0 fastball and rolls down to Garvey. 2 away. Here is Griffey, a bunt single and a clean single to right field. Griffey, as of the moment, apparently leading the league in hitting. Madlock didn't play yesterday, and Griffey is hitting .337 as he steps up now. Madlock at .336, the last figures we had on him. All right, Charlie working 2 outs in the 7th, trying to hold this one for Doug Rao for Rao's 16th win. Is a base hit to center field. So Ken Griffey, a very solid hitter, lines one back to the middle. Hit number 9 for the Reds, and the Reds have had things going with 2 outs here lately. In the 4th inning with 2 outs, they had a walk and a base hit and a walk, and then it took a good play by Lopes to get Zachary for the last out. In the 6th inning with 2 outs, a single by Bailey, a single by Concepcion, and a double by Warner for a run, and it took a great play by Russell to keep the tying run Concepcion from scoring. Now in the 7th with 2 outs, here's Joe Morgan at bat. He has grounded out twice and fouled out. In fact, the first time he grounded out, it was into a double play. Throw to first, trying to get Griffey, not in time. Griffey at first, a definite threat to run. He has stolen 33. He has been caught 11 times. So with 2 outs, tying run at first. Charlie Huff ready. The look and the pitch. Knuckleball inside to Morgan. 1 ball, no strikes. The Reds would have to make 2 runs, of course, this inning to keep Zachary involved in the game. Throw to first. Not in time for Griffey. Total crowd is over. Check it, it's 339 batting average for Griffey at first base. Here's the pitch too high for a ball. Total crowd over 31,000. We have 30,094 on hand. So Griffey has picked up 3 points today with 3 hits and 4 at-bats. 2 balls, no strikes to Morgan. The on-deck hitter is Foster. Again, Huff delivers. Fastball swung on him. Missed, strike 1. But Charlie getting behind had to bring the fastball into Morgan, and little Joe was trying to hit it out of here. He has 27 home runs, 111 RBIs, 326 batting average, and on deck is Foster with 29 home runs and 120 RBIs. So Huff in a tight spot here in the 7th inning, 2 out, and again a throw to first base. All right, Morgan backs out for a moment. Now little Joe in again. 2-1 the count as Huff set, delivers. Foul, straight back, and again he gave him the breaking ball, not the knuckleball. 2-2, a little slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Morgan. Two and two, 2 outs. Griffey on first base. Charlie trying to keep him going to 3-2 on the hitter. Now the look, and instead a throw to first base, and Griffey back easily. 1 run, 9 hits for the Reds. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. Yesterday, the Dodgers out-hit the Reds 11-7, but lost 4-3. They out-hit them in the first game, 11-8 and 1, 7-6. All right, he's gone 3-2 to Morgan now. Next pitch low in the dirt, and that'll turn Griffey loose at first base. 2 outs. Morgan at bat. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see what Charlie does with it now. Will he go to the fastball or the knuckleball on a 3-2 pitch to Morgan? Griffey ready to go. Garvey backs away from him, now holding him on at first base, and Charlie backs off. Here's the pitch. There he goes, and it's a little bit high. Ball 4. So the Reds, again with 2 out, have base runners with Foster coming up. For Foster, first time he comes up with a chance to drive into somebody. Charlie Huff with a walk, sending Griffey to second base. Morgan at first base with a walk. Foster has flied out, struck out, and hit a line drive right to Lopes at second base in the 6th inning. So George up leads the league in runs batted in with 120. He has 29 home runs and is hitting .312. So he's having a good year in all 3 columns. Slender right-hand batter with plenty of power. Here's Huff ready, and the pitch to him. Knuckleball, ground ball to shortstop. Russell feeds second in time, and they get out of the inning. So the Reds now leave 2 stranded in the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left on, and the score at the end of 6 1/2. Dodgers 2, and the Reds have 1.
Union Oil and your neighborhood Union 76 dealer who sells the unleaded regular with spirit, Union 76 regular, present another episode of Murph. Join us now at Murph's friendly 76 station as Murph solves the riddle of the missing pump.
Okay, Murph, where'd you put it?
Where'd I put what, Freddie?
Your regular pump. I was at that pump and that pump, and they're all unleaded regular.
That's because we sell only one regular. Union 76 regular. It's unleaded.
Unleaded, huh? Well, that's great for a 75 and 76 car, but my car's a 71. I can't use it.
That's where you're wrong, Freddie. Union 76 regular is blended with high-octane molecules. So it's right for 90% of the cars designed to use regular.
Even a 71 like mine?
Even an old car like yours, Freddie.
Oh, listen, Murph. Someday this car's going to be a classic.
Maybe it's time you put a gasoline with spirit on your side. The spirit of 76.
All right, Manny Sarmiento comes in as the pitcher, replacing Zachary, who beat the Dodgers 5 times this year, and that's going to be it. He won't beat them 6. The Dodgers are leading 2-1, and Zachary now can only be the losing pitcher in this game. He could not win. Manny Sarmiento coming on, young relief pitcher out of Venezuela. And Sarmiento has a record of 5-1 with a 2.25 earned run average. This is his 21st start. He's only been out of the minors a short time, and he's only played in the minors a short time. This is his 3rd year in pro ball. Bill Buckner will be the batter. 1 for 3. The Dodgers have had a couple of chances to open up the game, and the Reds have had several also. 9 left on for the Reds, and 8 left on for the Dodgers. 2-1, and again another good ball game between these two very fine clubs. Here's the pitch on the way. Bunt try fouled away, strike 1. Even though the Reds hold a 13-4 edge over the Dodgers in seasons play head-to-head, a lot of the games, in fact, the majority of the games have been right down to the wire. The Dodgers feel that they have played the Reds much better than the record would indicate. And the Reds realize that also. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left center field. Foster and Bailey going for it. Foster calling now. Makes the play for the out, and Buckner flies out. Billy's going to be running out of time now. He has 190 hits. He'll have 6 games to play after this one. Which means he's going to have to really get after it. He comes by the mound and passes Pete Rose as he comes to the dugout, and Pete talks to him. They get along quite well. Pete, in fact, asked Buckner to try out a new bat, an aluminum bat, in batting practice. A bat that Pete Rose wants to endorse. Here's the pitch to Reggie Smith for a strike, 0-1. Reggie has popped up, grounded out, and walked. Of course, the bat would be illegal in Major League play, but there's a big field for it in the minors and in colleges and high schools. Change in there, strike 2 to Reggie Smith. 0-2 the count. 1 out, 7th inning. Sarmiento, he's done a great job out of that bullpen, and the Reds have pulled another one out of the hat. There's a foul out of play, and it's 0-2. So this year they've come up with Alcala, Zachary, and now Sarmiento. Last year, of course, they came up with McInerney and Eastwick. They've got them tucked away down there in the minor league someplace, and they need them. Just pluck one out of the hat. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Morgan has to take a bat up, but he stays with it, throws in time, and Smith is out, 2 away. Steve Garvey at bat, 1 for 2 today. Steve with 194 hits. You have to rate Steve's chances pretty good now. With 194 hits in 155 games, he's done well over 1 hit a game. He has 6 games to play after this one. And a base hit now would really enhance his chances. He'd have to go into quite a tailspin not to make it. But for Buckner, he's going to have a real hot run now in the final 6 games. Here's the pitch to Steve. Bunt try, third base way, and it's going to be a base hit. Garvey bunts for the base hit. 195. Steve lays one down, and once it got by Sarmiento, there was no play. The ball died on the grass, and the young pitcher had no chance. Garvey has bunted for a base hit, I guess, at least 10 times this year. He's a very good bunter. Ron Sayat-Bat has walked twice and struck out. Ronnie struck out with the bases full in the 5th inning. He's driven a lot of runs for the Dodgers this year. 79. Garvey on first, Sarmiento ready. Here's a look in the pitch to Say. Breaking ball low, 1 ball and no strike. When he hit the 200 mark the first time in 1974, he hit it right on the nose at 200. Last year he had 210. So he had a comfortable margin last year. But the first time he hit it right down to the wire. He might go to the wire this time. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Rose digs it out, goes to second base for the 4th out, and the Dodgers are out in the 7th inning. No runs and a hit. With 1 left, and the score at the end of 7 innings of play, Dodgers 2 and the Reds 1.
The winning streak continues. I mean Farmer John. At the 1976 California State Fair, just concluded in Sacramento, 19 Farmer John products were awarded gold medals for excellence. And since Farmer John entered exactly 19 for judging, you'd have to say he did all right. In fact, perfectly all right, a perfect score. And year after year, it's the same. And as of now, Farmer John has won a total of 154 gold medals at the famous fair. 154. Moreover, every Farmer John product has been a winner, most of them many times whenever they're entered. Farmer John's winning record at the California State Fair is unparalleled. No other meat packer or food processor can match it. And since it encompasses not just one or two products, but Farmer John's entire lineup, it demonstrates conclusively the overall across-the-board excellence of the many meat items that bear his name. Good reason to look and ask for Farmer John products in your favorite store.
We've played 7, 2-1. Dodgers lead the Reds. Reds coming on in the 8th against Charlie Huff. More action. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry. Charlie Huff ready to pitch to Tony Perez, Bob Bailey, and Davy Concepcion. So the big first baseman twice grounded to short and flied to center. He's 0 for 3. Tony starting it off in the 8th. Dodgers 2, Reds 1. Huff ready, and Charlie delivers. Knuckleball, low, ball 1. The Dodgers trying to defeat the Reds and Pat Zachary. They haven't beat Zachary at all, and they've only beaten the Reds 4 times all year. Knuckleball is swung on and missed. 1-1. Perez, Bailey, Concepcion, and of course there are a lot of guys hanging around down in the dugout. Among others, Dan Dreesen, Cesar Geronimo, Johnny Bench. Knuckleball in there for a strike. Perez backed off, but took it 1-2. We mentioned it before. As far as Charlie Huff is concerned, Perez is the best knuckleball hitter in the Cincinnati club. Knuckler way inside, ball 2. So Tony waiting, 2-2. Huff had a wild ride Friday and went on to win the game. Pitch fouled away. Remember, the Dodgers winning 7-6, and Huff 1 minute was going to get a save. Then he gave up 3 runs in the 9th inning. He was going to get a loss. And then Ron Say's base hit. He got a victory. There's a ground ball to Russell. He gloves it at the belt. Across to Garvey for the out. And the biggest single play of the game involved Bill Russell. That was when Werner doubled in the 6th inning, and Russell made a great play to throw the tying run out at the plate. And the tying run happened to be Davy Concepcion, who runs exceptionally well. Bob Bailey, the batter. Bailey is 2 for 2 with a walk. Charlie delivers. Knuckleball. That's popped up. Davy Lopes coming across to the shortstop side and makes the catch for the out. 2 down. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Local news and more of it when you want it. Here on KTAR, Phoenix.
Davy Concepcion, the batter, hit into a force play, single to right and single to center. He's 2 for 3. Charlie Huff rocks, ready, delivers. Knuckleball, fouled away, 0-1. The Dodgers had a 5-game winning streak snapped yesterday, trying to pick up where they left off. They had 1 in Atlanta, then 3 straight at Candlestick in the first game of this series. Strike 1 pitch is fisted foul. Garvey goes right through the coaching box and makes the catch. And the Reds now running out of time. They go out in order in the 8th. The end of 7.5 innings. Dodgers 2, Reds 1.
It's put together to stay together to keep on safe for you. Datsun safe. Datsun safe.
The new Datsun 280Z has been called the most popular GT car on the road with good reason. Form and function blend to create an engineering masterpiece. The Z has a beautifully designed cockpit and advanced styling that turns heads everywhere. Plus a 2800cc overhead cam engine with electronic fuel injection for instant response. In fact, there's just one word that truly describes the electronic fuel-injected Datsun 280Z: perfection.
It's put together to stay together to keep on safe for you. Datsun safe. Datsun safe.
See your Southern California Datsun dealer now and enter the Golden Opportunity Day sweepstakes. You could win a 280Z and 25 Gs. Datsun, the official car of the Dodgers.
Bottom of the 8th inning. The Dodgers 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and the Reds 1 run, 9 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers trying to get an extra run for Charlie to work with in the 9th. It'll be Bill Russell, John Hale, and Steve Yeager. Bill Russell flied to center, hit into a force plate, grounded to short, and made the defensive play of the game to keep it 2-1. Sarmiento sidearming and gets it over for a strike, 0-1. He came by way of third. Now the strike one pitch on the way. On the hands, foul back out of play. That carries to the second deck, and the count 0-2. Dodgers and Reds, they've really put on a scramble, and this has been a great series. Games might not mean anything as far as the standings are concerned, but the games have been, above anything else, full of competitiveness, full of effort. Here's the strike 2 pitch, low, ball 1. Down in the Cincinnati dugout, Dan Dreesen, left-hand hitter with a bat in his hands. Dreesen had been up the runway loosening up, so you know he's going to get a call to bat in the 9th inning. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way is a bouncer foul to Lasorda. Tommy makes a good catch, and it's 1-2. So in the 9th inning, Werner, Sarmiento, and Rose are due up, and it'll be Dreesen, maybe even Geronimo, and then Rose. 2-1 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th inning. Sarmiento has been a great help, 5-1. Right-handed deals, and there's a fly ball to left field. Waiting for it is Bailey, and he puts it away. 1 down. The batter is the center fielder, John Hale. Lined out to center. Hit a little number on a changeup. He was badly fooled, but he rolled it just far enough up along the first baseline that as he was being thrown out, a run scored, and that is the difference in the game. It gave the Dodgers a 2-0 lead, and the Reds have gotten 1. Sarmiento delivers. Hale looks at a strike. So John is 0 for 3, but he has an RBI. 1 out, bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Dodgers. Sarmiento, strike 1 pitch, fastball over, strike 2, 0-2. The Dodgers trying to say goodbye to the Reds and nail them. They're leading 2-1 in the 8th inning. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Hale outside, ball 1, 1-2. On deck, and it's been first time since his accident that he has stood on deck, Steve Yeager. 1-2, the count to Hale. Sarmiento ready, delivers, and it's fouled away off third, out of play. First row, second deck, juggled and dropped down below. Oh, wow. John Hale waiting. Sarmiento's 1-2 pitch sailed inside. 2-2. Dodgers scored a run in the 3rd, a run in the 4th. The Reds' run came in the 6th, and here we are in the bottom of the 8th. Manuel Sarmiento. He's from Venezuela. The 2-2 pitch is fouled away. Sarmiento was discovered by a fellow townsman in Venezuela, Davy Concepcion. Boy, that's an investment when you have a shortstop who finds a pitcher for you. That's the way it's been going lately for the Reds. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Whacked down the right field line, foul. A one-hopper up into the seats, so Hale is still there 2-2. It was a changeup, and he pulled it too much. When you look at the Reds roster, you realize there are people from Cuba, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Venezuela. The pitch low, ball 3. The pitch to Hale is lifted to left center field. George Foster, sunglasses down, waiting and makes the catch. So we have 2 out in the 8th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. And here is Steve Yeager. Yeager caught the other night, but this is going to be his first at-bat. Yesterday, when Yeager put on the gear and went behind the plate, they hit for him. Sizemore batted for Yeager yesterday. So here's Yeager waiting. Sarmiento delivers a strike. Steve Yeager hitting .215. He has 11 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Oh and 1. Sarmiento's next one on the hands, foul back. 0-2. Dodgers 2, Reds 1. Bottom of the 8th. Charlie Huff will have his hands full with a couple of pinch hitters and then feed Rose in the 9th inning. Ken Griffey, the league's leading hitter, is due up 4th in the 9th. There's a high fly ball into left field. Bailey goes back just short of the track and makes the catch for the out. So the Dodgers are gone in the 8th, and at the end of 8, Dodgers 2, Reds 1.
Rodolfo L. Ramos was the first Chicano ever to become a lobbyist in Washington. Born in Westlake, Texas, he graduated from Pan American College in 1957 and earned the law degree at the American University Law School in 1963. At his own expense, Mr. Ramos became the director of Columbia's chapter of the American GI Forum and later served as its director. He played a leading role in many legal battles directed at federal agencies and countered policies with press releases, committee appearances, walkouts, and other direct actions. As a result, thousands of Chicanos have attained jobs with the federal government, and federal agencies have become more responsive to Chicano interests. Rodolfo Ramos now practices law in Washington, D.C., and continues to be an effective and aggressive spokesman for Mexican-American rights. This message has been brought to you by the KTAR Minority Advisory Board.
Through 8 innings, the Dodgers 2 runs on a half a dozen hits and no errors. The Reds 1 run, 9 hits and 1 error. Cesar Geronimo, Dan Dreesen, and Pete Rose are the first 3 hitters up, with Ken Griffey due to bat 4th in the inning, so Charlie has a lot of work. He's got a mountain to climb. The Dodgers defensively, Huff and Yeager. An infield of Garvey, Lopes, Russell, and Say, with Buckner, Hale, and Smith in the outfield. So the first hitter will be Geronimo, hitting .313. He'll hit for Don Werner.
Number 20, Cesar Geronimo.
The Dodgers have used 1 pinch hitter and 2 pinch runners. Geronimo is the second of 3 pinch hitters. The Dodgers yesterday used 5 pinch hitters. The night before, the Reds used 6 pinch hitters. Geronimo trying to bunt, fouls it away 0-1. To give you an idea of how close to the vest these 2 clubs have been playing them, it's not only been the starting 9 by any means. So Geronimo hitting .313. Marvelous center fielder, but he doesn't start against left-handers. Huff rocks and turns, and Charlie delivers, and a knuckleball is slapped foul down the left field line in the lower deck, 0-2. I would think to be a knuckleball pitcher and to go through the trials and tribulations that Charlie Huff goes through, you would have to have the mental constitution of a human fly and a bomb. What do you call those guys who defuse bombs? Pitch fouled over to the Dodger dugout and on the roof as Say disappears into the dugout. 0-2. So Ron back to his position. 0-2 to Geronimo. Batting for Don Werner. Huff has the ideal disposition and personality for his particular high wire act. He is unflustered. Charlie strike 2 pitch to Geronimo. Knuckleball hit by the mound, charging Davy Lopes. He has to hurry to get Geronimo and got him. Big play by Davy. That's his second big play. Lopes made a key play on Pat Zachary with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. If that ball goes through, the Reds have gotten a couple. And now he takes a hit away from Geronimo, and here is Dan Dreesen.
Batting for Cincinnati, for Sarmiento.
So Dreesen hitting for Sarmiento.
Dan Dreesen.
Dreesen hitting .252. As a pinch hitter, he is 6 for 33. On deck, Pete Rose. Huff deals, knuckleball. Strike, 0-1. Dodgers won 7-6, Reds won 4-3. Dodgers lead 2-1. Here's the strike one pitch. Knuckleball grounded foul outside of first and down the line. Garvey and Say protecting the foul lines. So at this late stage, it would be very hard to get a ball down either line. If it's that close, it figures to be fouled. 0-2 to Dreesen. Huff ready, and the knuckleball is swung on and dropped by Yeager, strike 3. Steve throws to Garvey, 2 out in the 9th inning. So Pete Rose coming up. 2 down in the 9th inning, and the Dodgers leading 2-1. And the league's leading hitter in the on-deck circle, Ken Griffey. So Rose trying to keep the Reds afloat. Flied out to right field twice, grounded out twice. Up ready, Charlie delivers, outside, ball 1. Rose hitting .327 will give back a point or two today, 0 for 4. Now the 1-0 pitch to Pete, taken on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to Pete Rose. Huff, both feet on the rubber, checking with Yeager. Charlie's 1-1 pitch, knuckleball outside, ball 2. Ken Griffey hitting .339, waiting his turn on deck. The Dodgers hope they don't have to look at him anymore. Now the 2-1 pitch to Rose is fouled away off third out of play. Griffey, just to show you the importance of this at-bat for Pete Rose, Griffey has just eaten up the Dodger pitching staff. He's hitting just under .400 against the Dodgers this year. So they just don't want to see him anymore. Enough's enough. And Rose trying to keep the door open so that Griffey can have one more shot. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Pete. Knuckleball, half swing, foul. That knuckleball just jumped inside at Rose. He tried to check his swing. Ball took a bite out of the bat. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Up, both feet on the rubber. Now Charlie ready, and the 2-2 pitch to Rose. Knuckleball and a high fly ball to Buckner. That ought to be it. He's waiting. He's got it. Well, it is small consolation to the Dodgers, but they will accept it. They have been able to beat the Reds 2 out of 3. All tough one-run games. They beat them 7-6 and 2-1. Lost to them yesterday 4-3. So the Dodgers win it. We'll have the totals, winning and losing pitchers right after this message.
One of the ways a Union 76 dealer can serve his customers is to spot trouble before it happens. At Joe Miller's Union 76, it's all part of the service and part of the spirit of 76.
The spirit of 76.
In this business, the sales is pointing out a need to the customer. Now, we have all the materials here available. Now, what we are trying to do for the customer out on the service drive is preventive maintenance. And we'd sooner tell them that they have a problem coming up than have them break down the road. And this also is part of the spirit of 76.
Maybe it's time to put a band with spirit on your side. The spirit of 76. The spirit of 76.
The totals for the Dodgers to win it: 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. For the Reds, 1 run, 9 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher is Doug Rouse, so this becomes the winningest year for Doug ever. In his 5th year in the big league, he wins his 16th. He is 16-11, 1-2 with the Reds, 6-7 lifetime. For Cincinnati, Pat Zachary and then Manuel Sarmiento, and Zachary the loser. So the Dodgers beat him for the first time, and they sure didn't wear him out, but they beat him 2-1. So Zachary is 14-6, 5-1 this year with the Dodgers and lifetime. The Dodgers and Reds have concluded their work, and the Reds, overwhelming winners, have won 13 of the 18. the Dodgers managed to salvage 3 of the 9 played here at Dodger Stadium. The Reds won 7 of the 9 at Riverfront in Cincinnati. And, of course, for the Dodgers, they play out the string. They'll play Houston and San Diego. For the Reds, all the while, they are polishing up their act, getting ready for Philadelphia. The Phillies, by the way, clinched their division today. So once again, the final score of the ball game, the Dodgers 2 and the Reds 1. Now, Vin Scully for Jerry Doggett, inviting you to stay tuned to the post-game show coming right up. The Reds concluded their year's work against each other, and as usual, it was a ball game well worth the time and effort to see it. Over 30,000 paid, and they weren't disappointed. In fact, the 3-game series was a good one. The Dodgers winning 7-6, the Reds coming back yesterday to win 4-3, and the Dodgers today leading 2-0 and managing to squeak by 2-1. And, of course, for the Dodgers, they finally were able to beat Pat Zachary, although they certainly didn't do very much to rub any luster off the young right-hander. He lost, but to lose 2-1, certainly he was as close as you can get. In fact, he was this close. The tying run was thrown out at the plate. That was on that magnificent relay throw, as good as I've ever seen, from Bill Russell to Kevin Paisley to get Davey Concepcion sliding in. The Reds had runners at first and second with 2 out in the 6th inning, and Don Werner, the catcher, doubled into the left field corner. 1 run scored easily. That was Bailey. And then it took a perfect play, and that's exactly what the Dodgers came up with. Buckner threw a strike to Russell, but it was Russell's throw that was the key. He had no time to set, no chance to wind up. He had to grab the throw and in one motion whirl and throw, and had to be right on the money, and he threw a perfect strike to Paisley. Concepcion was nipped at the plate. And thanks to the great Bill Russell relay, the Dodgers win at 2-1, and Doug Rauch now has his winningest year in the big leagues. He's 16-11. The Dodgers wind up having won only 5 of the 18 meetings with Cincinnati, so there's no question as to the better team. The Reds go on to play the Phils in the playoffs. Our guest today will be Charlie Huff, who came in to get the save for Doug Rauch. Jerry will be chatting with him right after this message. Charlie Huff Friday night really walked the high wire in a windstorm, and today when he came in, we were saying about how you had to have the mental constitution of a human fly or a bomb diffuser, and it was for Charlie ho-hum. He retired the last 7 in a row. Or was it ho-hum? Let's find out and go to Jerry.
All right, Vinny, thank you very much. I don't guess it was ho-hum, was it, Charlie?
Not quite a ho-hum game. Anytime you play the Reds with the type of hitters they send up there at you, even pinch hitters, they send up pinch hitters that other clubs don't have that guy, a good hitter hitting 3rd and 4th. So this is a tough outfit to beat, and I'm very happy about it.
Charlie, actually, as Vinny said, you have to be a human fly or a tightrope walk actor, something like that.
Well, it's it's a tough thing every day. You just got to have your mind made up that you're going to go out there and pitch your kind of game and not worry about what happens. You're going to lose a lot of games. You pitch a short relief and you give up a run, you lose, you get them out, you end up with a win or saving a ball game. So you just got to tell yourself that, if you blow one day like I did the other night, and fortunately we came back and won it, you just got to make up your mind to go out there, give it your best shot, and hope you can win.
Charlie, do you have emotional peaks and valleys? Do you get up and down when things happen like that?
I get down a little bit, especially if I've got a chance to save a game that I don't. It's kind of a frustrating thing, starting to go out there and work hard for 7, 8 innings and pitch a good ball game and come out for a pinch hitter trying to get an extra run or two, and you get a 1-run lead and walk out there. The first thing you do is give up a run to tie the game, So that's a little frustrating, and it gets me down more than losing a game. It's tough. The guy trying to make a living winning ball games as a starting pitcher, and a guy comes in and doesn't hold it for him. But I think it more than makes up for it when you do a good job.
And with the 17 saves on the board, you've helped them out more times than you've let them get away.
Well, I like to think so, and I think probably the starting pitchers would think that way. But, it happens both ways. Sometimes you go out there and have a good night and get everybody out, and other times you don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, like when we were talking about Friday night, it looked like you're going to get saves and a loss, and you finally wound up with a win.
It happens both ways. Sometimes you go out there and have a good night and get everybody out, and other times you don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, like when we were talking about Friday night, it looked like you're going to get saves and a loss, and you finally wound up with a win, and things are going along pretty well. All of a sudden, boom, here come the big Reds, and you just can't stop them.
Right. It's a funny thing. I walked 2 guys the other night, and I was throwing fastballs. I walked a guy throwing fastballs, trying to throw it right down the middle, and couldn't get it over. And now when I threw some knuckleballs, Geronimo with 2 outs hit a ball right on his fist and dumped it in there for a base hit. Then Rose hits a bullet for a base hit, and Griffey comes up base hit. Next thing you know, before I really felt like I did anything real bad, I've given up 3 runs, and I'm still out there with men on 1st and 3rd, and Concepcion's up. So You can't quit against a club like that. You can't quit in any game. You got a chance to, even if you've blown a lead like that, you got to still try and get them out and hope you can come back with some runs.
And you came back today and got them all out today.
Thanks. That's the way the game is. Sometimes you can go out there and the guy getting 210, can beat you, and you can walk out there and get out the guy that's hitting 400. So you just got to prepare yourself every day to give it your best effort.
Charlie, thanks for the visit and continued good luck.
Thank you very much.
Charlie Huff has been our guest. We'll have more after this message.
If you enjoy Mexican food, then it's a sure bet you'll enjoy El Diablo. With the special touch of mildness, El Diablo serves some of the tastiest Mexican food in the valley. Enchiladas, tacos, and mouth-watering burros. Plus, delicious American food. Located at 32nd Street in East Van Buren, El Diablo Restaurant is waiting to serve you.
The elegant Chrysler New Yorker, stylish Newport, magnificent Cordova. If you enjoy beauty, luxury, and performance, Howard Chrysler Plymouth, Arizona's #1 Chrysler Plymouth dealer, is offering a large selection of these fine cars at significant savings. Now you can save hundreds of dollars during the 1976 model closeout sale at Howard Chrysler Plymouth, 47th Avenue in West Glendale.
On the scoreboard, a big day for Philadelphia. They finally made it. The Phillies defeated Montreal 4-1. Jim Lonborg all the way to clinch the National League East. Warthen lost it. Luzinski hit his 21st. They're going through the motions in the second game, and they're going through the motions in the rain. At the end of 7 innings, Philadelphia leading 2-1, and it is raining. The game held up. Ron Reed, normally a #1 relief man, started, and he's been relieved by Ron Schuler. Blair going for Montreal. But to repeat, Philadelphia clinched it today. They'll meet the Reds in the playoffs. The Mets over Chicago 2-1. Koosman beat Bonham. Atlanta over San Diego with a 6-run 8th inning, 10-4, with Devine in relief beating Metzger. St. Louis beat Pittsburgh 5-2. Denny over Keeson, Parker and Cruz home runs. And the Giants over Houston 5-1. Lavelle beat Lemongello. And the Houston Astros will be here tomorrow night. In the American League, California beat Minnesota 4-1. Frank Tanano won his 18th. He beat Hughes, Collins, and Cusick home runs. Boston over Baltimore 8-3. Cleveland beat Martinez. And I'll tell you what, pray to the blue skies you have overhead and give you thanks, because check the weather in Cleveland. Milwaukee at Cleveland, rained out. New York at Detroit, rained out. Oakland at Chicago, rained out. Kansas City at Texas, it is 3-0 Texas at the end of 7, and it is raining. So it's raining in Montreal, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, and in Dallas-Fort Worth. And the sun trying to burn off the overcast here, and we still usually grumble about the weather. But we're going to talk about one play and 2 different umpires' decisions coming up right after this message.
Howard Chrysler Plymouth, coming through for you with giant savings on a giant inventory of 1976 Chryslers and Plymouths. Now save hundreds of dollars on the 1976 model of your choice. The elegant New Yorker, stylish Newport, magnificent Cordova. Or choose from our large selection of Furies, Volaris, Valiants, and Dusters. It's Howard Chrysler Plymouth 1976 model closeout sale. Save big, save now. Howard Chrysler Plymouth, 47th Avenue and West Glendale.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I get a little edgy going into one of them fancy restaurants with everybody in tuxedos with menus in a foreign language. If you feel the same way, then I got just the place for you. Bill Johnson's Big Apple Restaurant. They got sawdust on the floor, pretty cowgirls waiting on you, and the best food in these here parts, I guarantee you. You can take it easy, have a good time, and a delicious meal at a Big Apple. That's Bill Johnson's Big Apple Restaurants, 37th Street in East Van Buren and 31st Avenue and West Indian School Road.
Al Walker of Glendale wrote in, has there ever been a time when one umpire calls the play one way and another umpire calls the play the opposite way? Oh, Al, it sure has happened many times. Certainly one time that neither Gene Mauch nor Bobby Bragan will ever forget took place in the 1964 season. That was the memorable year when the Phillies lost the pennant after a 6.5-game lead with only 12 games to play. In the top of the 9th inning of a late-season game, Milwaukee Brave Mike De La Hoz came to bat with Rico Carty running at third. De La Hoz hit a sinking line drive to left field, which the third base umpire signal had been trapped, not caught, by left fielder Cookie Rojas. Well, as a result, Carty came in from third without going back to tag up. Rojas argued so vehemently that he had caught the ball, he was ejected from the game by the third base umpire. However, Cookie had someone who agreed with him, the second base umpire, who reversed the decision. claiming he had a better angle on the play, that the ball was caught. It was not trapped. Boy, out of the visiting Milwaukee dugout came an upset manager, Bobby Bregan, who ended up getting ejected from the game, along with batter runner De La Hoz and teammate Joe Torre. Well, after the argument, Richie Allen, Philadelphia third baseman at the time, he called for the ball and stepped on third base, claiming that if it was a legal catch, and that's what the umpires finally agreed upon, well, then Carty had left third too soon. The third base umpire, who had originally ruled the ball trapped but was overruled, agreed with Allen, and he called Carty out for leaving third before the ball was caught. Oh, wow, this brought even angrier screams from the Milwaukee bench. The reason Carty didn't come back to tag up, you clown, was because you said the ball wasn't caught. Bregan, already on his way to an early shower, contended, "Don't tell me now it was caught and my runner left the base too soon." Well, it may come as no surprise to you to learn that manager Bobby Bregan also lost that argument, so immediately announced he was playing the game under protest. Well, fortunately for the Braves, and come to think of it, fortunately, too, for the umpires, certainly not for a slumping Philadelphia team, the Braves went on to win the game 6-4. The protest was never filed, didn't have to be ruled upon, and 4 umpires had a somewhat nervous night's sleep. Our post-game sponsors are pleased to present to our guests a gift certificate from Sears, the home of the Kenmore gas dryer. Save gas energy. Make sure your dryer is properly vented. That'll do it for today as the Dodgers nip the Reds 2-1.
The Dodger Post-Game Show was brought to you by Phil Johnson's Restaurants. Enjoy great food at both Big Apple Restaurants and the El Diablo Restaurant. And by Howard Chrysler Plymouth, now the newest dealer for Chrysler Marine products.